Shadowy boss, across a desk, delivers devastating termination. Faceless superior watches, hands clasped. A final gesture. He reels in shock. Sure, he misheard. Boss declares the company's poor performance is his fault. Blinded by shock and rage, his mind went completely blank. He grips the controller, mashing buttons against a stubborn enemy. Now jobless, he wastes his life inside an MMORPG. He admits this tedious grind avoids his grim reality. He levels up to escape his real-world anxiety. He realizes he's finally maxed out his character's stats. In a game built for teamwork, he went solo. He picked the game's most mocked odd class. This class was trash, perfect for solo play. Strange prompt offered a sage job change. Unsure if it worked, he accepted the change. His new class was broken, maxing all stats. The sage class lets him use every skill and magic. He landed a devastating critical, his newfound power overwhelming foes. He soloed the raid, boss, relishing the dev's challenge. His damage fought the dragon's absurd regeneration. His critical hit landed with massive force, but his power overwhelmed the beast's healing. The interface shattered, confirming his reincarnation. His avatar shrieked as the virtual world dissolved. A blinding, chaotic storm of light and data engulfs him. Blurry figures loomed over him, shouting for him to wake up. Dazed, he slowly regained consciousness. He jolted up, shocked by his surroundings. A guard tells the king the summoning worked. A beautiful knight in silver armor gave him a warm welcome. He stared in shock, the word hero echoing in his head. He landed in a vast, opulent throne room. Sword hero Fabris promised he was safe. Confused, he asked if the others were also heroes. Shield hero Karikahash warned him, acceptance takes time. The blindfolded warrior agreed, warning him to go easy. A hooded figure confirmed this was no dream. Radiant, Sirill reveals she's the recovery hero. She teased his young face, mocking his shock. Her closeness made him flush red. Fabris moved them along to verify his status. She concentrates. A game status window pops up. The display stunned him, like an AR game. She revealed secrets are hidden, even from heroes. Desperate for answers, he summoned his status screen. His panel popped up, name and class sage. He froze, seeing every stat maxed out. Other heroes baffled, never heard of this class. He questioned if the sage class held real power here. Fabris dropped her friendly act, questioning his hero status. He looks up, confused by her sharp tone. Royal guards swore the summoning ritual was perfect. He wondered, was the ritual flawed or the chant wrong? Stroking his beard, the king made his choice. His patience snapped. He ordered Yuki out. Stunned, he yelled that they summoned him. He begged for someone to explain. Fabris coldly declared him useless without hero status. The hooded figure grumbled, expecting more from the newcomer. Katash agreed, admitting they'd misjudged him. The blindfolded warrior never heard of a sage. He questioned them, wondering if he was even one of them. Sirill mocked him, calling his status useless. The word useless hit him like a physical blow. Unfair rejection felt all too familiar. He remembered faceless suits tossing him out. His superior sneered. His past success was a fluke. Another scoffed, claiming he wasn't worth 10 times his pay. A third sneered. Others wanted his job. The pain of being discarded as useless flooded back. The waking nightmare faded, leaving dread. The heroes agreed he didn't belong and cast him out. The king banished him. Guards seized him, shouting that fake heroes aren't welcome. He fought, but they dragged him down the hall. They threw the fake hero out the main gate, sending him home. Furious, he vowed he'd never return, even if begged. He looked down. Reality hit him. He stared at the city, realizing he was in another world. He realized this wasn't a dream. It was real. He remembered their judgment. He was no hero, just a useless sage. Useless, huh? He choked. the words stinging. In another world, he faced the same treatment. He debated living in peace or finding a way back. He'd never go back to that soulless office job. Fist clenched, he vowed to make it here, but he had no clue how to survive. Thrown into this world with no tutorial, he was lost. He sighed. Even this new world lacked hope. He sarcastically called this their fateful encounter. He spots thugs cornering a girl, his chance to flip the script. Men threatened the struggling girl, demanding silence. They gagged the brat, fed up with her trouble. Lurking in the shadows, he scanned for witnesses. They hurried away before being spotted. Exiled, he just stumbled into a kidnapping. Torn, he wondered help or turn away. He wanted no more trouble, but this meeting was destiny. He planned, but his foot gave him away. A thug turned, locking eyes with the observer. Yuki freezes in the alley as two thugs spot him, eyeing the lurker. His heart pounds. He's been spotted and has no plan. He frantically searches his skills, hoping for help. Thugs decide he is a liability, fearing he'll cause a scene, call for help. Their leader draws a blade, offering a menacing apology. He lunges, vowing to silence Yuki for good. Yuki flinches, desperately summoning divine protection as a magic circle flares. His world shifts. The thugs' attacks crawl in slow motion. Bandits baffled, their attacks can connect with their target. Enraged, the leader swings wildly, but Yuki is just too fast. Untouched, Yuki taunts the three for failing to land a hit. He can dodge forever. Can his new skill land a counter? Hands raised, he shouts, unleashing offensive divine protection. A massive magic circle erupts, stopping the thugs cold. An invisible shockwave blasts, slamming all three bandits into the alley walls. Dust and debris drift from the sky. Yuki collapses, exhausted. Relieved, he somehow saved himself. It hits him, he finally remembers why he's fighting. He rushes to the carriage, fearing for the girl. He leans over the edge, shouting to see if she's okay. He finds her bound, gagged, struggling on the carriage floor. Seeing she's unhurt, relief washes over him. He reassures the terrified girl, it's all right, he'll help her now. Untying her ropes, he tells her not to worry. He handled the man outside, shyly thanks him for the rescue and asks his name. Seeing her fine clothes, Yuki figures she's a wealthy noble's daughter. He blushes, caught off guard by her curious gaze. She asks if something S on her face and calls him cute. He stammers Matsuzaki Yuki, a name she finds odd. He tells her to call him Yuki, and she thanks him again. She asks who he is. Realizing he's no ordinary adventurer, she's Illyrio Wireless, third princess of the Wily's kingdom. Stunned, Yuki mutters third princess in disbelief. He's rattled by the reveal, while she smiles sweetly. He asked why bandits attacked a princess like her alone. Her life as a princess was peaceful, but way too boring. Craving a wider world, she left a note at the castle and began her adventure. She reached the city and local thugs spotted her instantly. She recounts how they cornered her in a dark alley. Terrified, she reveals their plan, sell her to slavers. Yuki calls her a high-maintenance princess for a runaway. All Arius' eyes sparkle as she insists on his story instead. She leans in close, begging him to tell her everything. Yuki blushes yet reluctantly agrees to tell his story. He reveals his crazy story, corporate slave, reborn a sage, then fired. Ilaria listens, beaming yet confused, question marks floating around her. He asks if she'd return to the Empire, but she firmly refuses. She's certain everything's fine, trusting Yuki to save her if trouble strikes. Yuki protests he has his own problems. Ilaria asks if he fears the Empire finding and killing him. She leans in, revealing her secret plan for safety. She seizes his hands with a surprisingly powerful grip. Smiling, she declares they just need to make it a done deal. Yuki leaps back, flustered, asking if she knows what she's saying. He panics, thinking she'll force her father to approve their marriage. She calls it fate, wouldn't mind a brave man like him. He panics and denies it, claiming their meeting was pure coincidence. Alleria thinks he's strange but good, not like storybook heroes. Yuki panics, thinking she's being way too bold for a stranger. She jokes he looks only 15. Speechless at her comment, Yuki only manages a confused, huh? He stares at his hand, wondering if Reincarnation de-aged him. He shakes his head, refusing her crazy plan. Downcast, Alleria thought she'd finally found a strong companion. Yuki stops, stunned by her disappointment. He insists he's solo, and she's just following him. Alleria beams, throws her arms around him, declaring she'll join him anyway. A loud stomach growl ruins her victory speech. Surprised, both look down. Her stomach rumbles again. She laughs, admitting she's starving, and Yuki realizes he is too. Yuki suggests discussing their future over a meal, her treat as thanks. In the throne room, a guard tells the king Princess Illyria was kidnapped. Guard reports their hired bandits were beaten by an unknown man. The king's face darkens, questioning this man's identity. He explodes, calling the report impossible and dumb. Terrified guard vows to redouble the search. The king clutches his head, groaning as his plans crumble. He remembers his scheme to use his daughter as a hostage against the wireless empire. He worries her safe return will let the empire discover his plot. He fears failure makes him weak, inviting nations to ally against him. The king grits his teeth, his gambit now a mess. A wooden sign with a large mug hangs from a bustling tavern. Alleria digs in, amazed that commoner food tastes this good. Cheeks stuffed, Yuki realizes they're broke and needs to find work. Alleria cheerfully suggests he become an adventurer, surprising him. He doubts his power, but she reminds him he crushed those bandits. Locals say, you must pass an exam to become an adventurer. Yuki accepts, seeing the exam as the perfect way to test his real strength. Thrilled, Alleria declares they'll hit the Adventurer S-Guild tomorrow. He eyes her ID, questioning the fake name. She smiles, explaining she uses an alias to hide her true identity. A crash interrupts their meal as a man screams, fire. Yuki and Illyria face the commotion, curious. They follow the crowd, rushing out the tavern to investigate. They spot a massive fire, flames consuming the evening sky. The panicked crowd fears the fire will engulf nearby buildings. Alleria and Yuki see a fire erupt. They hold the old man back as he desperately lunges for the inferno. Anguished, the old man screams. His grandson went back inside. Onlookers scream. It's hopeless. The fire is too deadly to approach. An old man collapses in despair, hands covering face, begging to save his grandson. Worried, Alleria begs Yuki to help the man. Yuki eyes the inferno. Can his strange skills help? He scans his powers, focusing on the potential of climate manipulation. Resolved, he goes inside, trusting his skills for a fighting chance. Walking toward the flames, Alleria shouts his name, begging him to stay safe. Inside the roaring building, Yuki braces against the crushing wall of flames. He shields his face, overwhelmed by the heat, searing power. He calls into the blaze, desperately searching for anyone trapped inside. Terrified, a boy clutches a cat, crying from a corner. Yuki finds the boy, asks if he's hurt. He confirms he's okay. Tearfully, the boy explains he ran back to save his cat, Tama. Yuki holds the boy close, grimly realizing their escape path is blocked. He ditches the rain for a faster, direct strike. No time to hesitate, he triggers his climate manipulation skill. A massive magic circle erupts around them, dropping the temperature to absolute zero. Outside, the crowd watches in shock as the raging fire suddenly extinguishes. Yuki exits the frozen building, carrying the boy to the stunned crowd. Alleria rushes to his side, relief flooding her face to see him and the child unharmed. With a radiant smile, she calls him amazing for his heroic feat. Hans spots his grandfather in the crowd and shouts with joy. The two embrace in a tearful reunion, watched by relieved townspeople. Yuki and Illyria smile warmly as they watch the happy scene. The sage's power instantly killed the fire, saving everyone. The grandfather comforts his crying grandson, saying his safety is all that matters. Yuki's relieved they barely made it in time. The old man, armory owner, thanks Yuki for his bravery. Relieved the boy is safe, Yuki humbly accepts the man's gratitude. The owner stares at his charred shop, suspecting gunpowder sparked the fire. Old man insists on rewarding Yuki's heroism, but Yuki politely declines. The owner insists he take any item from the miraculously preserved shop as a reward. Inside, they're surrounded by a massive stash of surviving weapons. He wonders, must sages use specific weapons, or can he use anything? He can equip the gear, but lacks the skill to use it. Illyria asks if he's found a favorite, but he can't choose. Illyria tells him to trust his gut and pick the weapon that feels right. The armorer strokes his beard, deciding what weapon to recommend. Yuki turns and asks the owner for his personal recommendations. The owner remembers an item and hunts through the back room. He returns with an unusual greatsword, offering it to the unique one. They stare in awe as the owner names the demon blade Sorberserk. The owner explains, magic gone. The legendary sword's just an antique. Yuki geeks out over the sword's insane design. He grips the hilt tightly, wondering how to restore its power. The sword explodes with light, stunning Yuki and Illyria. A system screen pops up, triggering his auto-restoration skill. The skill repairs the ancient weapon. It crackles with renewed power. The owner realizes the sword chose its master for beyond time. Yuki accepts the legendary, powerful demon, Sorberserk. The boy and his cat wave goodbye, shouting a cheerful thanks to their hero. Beat from the chaotic day, Yuki suggests an inn. They spot an inn with a rustic sign out front. Illyria's thrilled, shocked by the room's massive size and comfort. He spots one bed and a sofa, his forced compromise. He offers her the bed, but she cheerfully insists on the sofa. This rustic life is an adventure she'd never find at the castle. He doubts the sofa's comfort, but lets her choose freely. Night falls over town, a crescent moon above the quiet timber inn. Next morning, birds chirp on the roof as the sun rises. Inside the room, Yuki sleeps soundly as morning light filters in. Asleep, a soft warmth rests on his chest. Half awake, he wonders what feels softer and warmer than his pillow. His eyes snap open. He jolts, realizing his face is buried in Illyria's chest. He's completely flustered, finding Illyria in his bed. She mumbles his name as he frantically shakes her awake. He wakes her, and she groggily wishes him a cheerful good morning. Demanding to know why she's in his bed, she sits up and sheepishly apologizes. Sofa too uncomfortable, she snuck in with him. He scolds her for trusting a guy she just met. She insists she feels safe with him, but he's still flustered. He warns her that most men will exploit her trust. She heeds his words, vows caution. He asks if she's okay, but she just teases him. She slyly warns against his deception. He insists he'd never move, but she playfully challenges him. He leans in, flips the script, and teases her back. They lock eyes, inches apart, both blushing hard. Illyria boldly declares if he is serious, she might accept him. Her unexpected acceptance shocks him silent. He frantically backpedals, insisting it was hypothetical, disappointing her. Next day, they hit the busy capital streets. Two men spot Yuki, whispering as he passes. Townsfolk whisper and stare, eyes tracking the mysterious young man. Yuki feels the crowd's constant stares, uneasy under their gaze. Illyria asks why they rewatched. Yuki clarifies they rewatching him. She asks why everyone's after him, but he swears he's the victim. He reminds her of his strange story summoned from another world. Mistaken for a hero, he's kicked out of the castle. Alleria remembers rumors of a new hero summoned to the kingdom. She connects the dots, asking if the summoned hero was him. She fears the news spread, but he's more worried she'll be recognized. He considers his miraculous feat at the armory fire got attention. He sighs, resigning to this growing mess. He remembers the king and heroes casting him out, unexplained. Alleria asks if he's disappointed with how things turned out. He realizes his supposedly useless class brought him luck. Alleria turns to him, dead serious, and says she isn't disappointed. She reveals the king used the hero's summoning for military ambitions. His arrival saved them from a fate they both feared. He weighs her words, seeing the truth. Alleria's saving him proved that being cast out was a blessing. She firmly takes his hands, her touch encouraging. He stares, stunned by her sudden heartfelt support. She loves his vision and will follow him anywhere. Her sincere words turn his face bright red. He shyly thanks her. She cheerfully announces, "We are at the guild." A receptionist in glasses greets them, asking for names to register. Yuki confirms this is the place to join the guild. His name, Matsuzaki Yuki, startles the guild girl. He asks what's wrong, but she nervously denies it. She says joining requires an exam, and he accepts instantly. The official reveals the three-part exam: magic, combat, and the final trial. For the first test, he shoves his arm into a strange device. The receptionist explains it measures his magic, squeezing his arm. The measurement begins, feeling just like a blood pressure test. The machine sparks, shudders violently from strain. The contraption detonates, stunning everyone. The receptionist profusely apologizes, saying it's a first. Nervously blaming the gear, she leads them to the next room. She shows a huge floating crystal that measures magic by color. To Yuki, this analog method feels just like a game. He places his hand on the cool, massive crystal. Heat surges as the receptionist gasps, sensing something is wrong. Spiderweb cracks, instantly web, the flawless crystal's face. He's scared it'll blow, but she insists the color change is working. Suddenly, the crystal shatters into 1,000 shards. Yuki and Alleria scream, totally stunned by the twist. Receptionist explains the crystal's 100,000 MP limit. He broke it. She tells him he easily passed the 20,000 MP. Alleria reveals she scored 10,000 MP on yesterday's test. Even veteran adventurers will struggle with this new requirement. The receptionist whispers, unsure if she should tell them. She reveals a royal order, raises everyone's score. But Alleria's stunned they rigged the rules for him. But Yuki saw it coming. He realizes with this attention, he can be careless. The receptionist guides them to the outdoor combat exam plaza. Yuki asked Alleria what opponent she'd fight for her test. The receptionist warns that while usually C rank, this opponent is special. Massive armored knight bursts from a gate, radiating an intimidating aura. Regulus sneers, announcing the king has sentenced Yuki to death. Yuki vows respect for this kingdom with his blade. Regulus mocks the empty threat, asking if he should be grateful. He dismisses Yuki, calling him weak and a head for defiance. The crowd roars for Regulus, but Yuki smirks at the hate. Regulus taunts him to strike, mocking his thin blade. Yuki activates divine protection. Light flashes. He knows the skill reveals opponent's moves, but he must be wary. He hunts for an opening to land one final blow. Yuki blurs forward, closing the gap instantly. Regulus reels from the speed as their swords clash with massive force. Staggering back, Yuki's hidden power shocks him magic. Blades clash. A shockwave rips through the courtyard. A rank adventurer's force cracks the stone ground below. Yuki easily dodges attacks, but must find a way to strike back. Alleria cheers wildly. Crowd watches duel in awe. Crowd murmurs. Yuki predicts Regulus attacks. Furious, Regulus demands the source of Yuki's power. Yuki's sword shockwave slams into Regulus, who cries in pain. The knight flies across the yard, cratering deep into the stone wall. Standing over his fallen foe, Yuki questions his victory. Onlookers gape, wondering who this man is. Ilaria rushes, hugs Yuki, praising his strength. The receptionist is stunned, but Yuki shrugs it off as luck. She declares he passed, after crushing the kingdom's strongest. Ilaria declares him the kingdom's strongest, urging confidence. He asks about the final test and learns it's a camping trial. The receptionist says it needs prep and starts tomorrow night. Medics haul Regulus away as Yuki and the others watch. Relieved, Yuki calls for rest till the final test. Ilaria agrees. Inside Oswald Castle, an aide reports to the king. The king's spy master discusses Matsuzaki Yuki. He reports Yuki's victory over Regulus, enraging the king. Spy master admits Yuki's power vastly exceeded expectations. The king rejects it. Livid this town even exists. He demands a plan to assassinate the boy, reputation intact. Spymaster sends the royal assassins into the final exam. Deaths during the test are common, so an accident is plausible. The king calls the fake assassination a genius move. He hands the mission to his spymaster, demanding total secrecy. The king, face a mask of cold fury, seals his dark scheme. He swears this time the fake hero dies. Ilaria recharges in the inn's hot bath. Shim says a bath will energize them for the test. A wooden door seals their private room. Yuki realizes his sage class isn't weak. He's confident he can survive as an adventurer. He pulls up his status menu to check skills. He's shocked to find a new barrier magic skill, clueless how he learned it. Intrigued, he triggers his barrier magic. He sits, puzzled, when his spell does nothing visible. Ilaria emerges refreshed from her bath, offering Yuki the tub. She approaches, offering to wash his back so he can relax. She steps, eyes wide in shock. She slams face first into an invisible wall. She's on the floor, dazed, as Yuki asks if she's okay. Rubbing her head, she complains she just hit an invisible wall. Yuki discovers his barrier's real, shielding him from unseen threats. A system prompt pops up, asking for a barrier password. He gets an idea, asks Ilaria to say high-rate Goma or open sesame. Towel-clad, Ilaria poses and yells the magic words. Wrapped in a towel, Ilaria slams into an invisible force. Shocked, it's not Yuki. Yuki reveals his barrier magic and its secret password, amazing Ilaria. Next day, the guild receptionist explains the final exam rules at the campsite. Yuki asks if just protecting the camp is enough. The receptionist confirms. She tells him the test ends at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Ilaria and the receptionist wish him luck, leaving him to his task. Alone now, Yuki immediately raises his defensive barrier. He triggers his leveled-up barrier as a glowing runic circle flashes to life. He doubts the upgraded skill's effectiveness, but figures it'll buy him time. By the fire, he reflects on his surreal solo trip in this new world. Dark forest looms. Trees cast ominous shadows under the night sky. Robed assassins surround the targets, ready to strike. A man notes their target as just a hesitant boy. The leader coldly states sympathy's useless. The boy betrayed the kingdom. He suspects this boy ruined the kingdom's hero summoning. Subordinate questions how a boy did it, but leader insists he's no ordinary foe. The leader warns his squad to stay sharp. This enemy is dangerous. He orders the assault. Attacker still unspotted. A subordinate reports an emergency, and the leader asks if they've been spotted. The assassin stammers, telling his leader to see for himself. An assassin hurls a lethal dagger straight into the camp. The dagger clangs against an invisible hexagonal barrier, sparking off. The assassins freeze as their leader recognizes the legendary lost barrier magic. The deflected dagger lies useless in the undergrowth as leader demands explanation for what they saw. The leader knows normal swords and magic are useless against this barrier. Eyes narrow with grim resolve. It's a direct order from the king. Failure isn't an option. He orders his men to use any means necessary. A subordinate asks if he means it. Leader confirms, ordering the magic weapon prepared. Sure, the king approves. They wheel out a massive cannon. A soldier fears overkill, but the leader disagrees. Weapon confirmed, ready, leader signals attack. The leader yells for his men to brace for impact. With a final roar, the cannon unleashes destructive energy. Swirling black smoke and chaos erupt from the massive explosion. After the blast, assassins cut through the smoke, checking their hit. The leader stares in total shock at the result. Inside the barrier, Yuki's clueless, wondering where the attacker is. Furious leader, one shot failed, orders backup cannons. He orders his men to focus fire on one spot to break through. Subordinate reports the barrier's durability won't budge, frustrating the leader. Yuki checks his dinner, wondering if the meal is finally cooked. He bites his stew, remarking it's good for a simple meal. Patting his full stomach, he wonders if the exam attackers will even show up. The stunned assassins wonder if their shockwaves even reach him. Yuki yawns after his meal, heading to bed. The furious leader orders non-stop fire to incinerate the whole camp. The forest lay devastated, trees shattered, smoke choked the air. Assassins report empty magic catalysts, but the leader calls it ridiculous. He stares at the camp, stunned their weapons can't even scratch the barrier. Subordinate asks for orders. Leader grimly declares the operation failed. He wants to report this, realizing the boy's power surpasses even a hero has. They can't win against an opponent they can't even touch. Leader orders retreat. Leave no trace. The assassination squad withdrew, failing to even meet their target. Next morning, Aleria and the receptionist find the camp surrounded by a cratered wasteland. Receptionist panics, rushes forward, yelling, "Yuki, are you okay?" She face plants into an invisible wall, dizzy and confused. Aleria, wide-eyed, recalls the invisible barrier from last night. She remembers Yuki's password to enter the barrier. Aleria strikes a dramatic pose, shouting, "Open sesame." She leads the receptionist through the barrier, earning a meek thank you. They find Yuki sleeping. The receptionist wakes him, confirming his safety. Yuki stirs awake, rubs his eyes, and asks, "Who's there?" The receptionist scolds him. She'd never seen anyone fall asleep mid-exam. Yuki protests, arguing it's not his fault, the examiner never showed. Receptionist holds up a hand, demanding he listen to her story. The examiner arrived, but couldn't break through the invisible wall. She thinks the wall hid the attack from Yuki. Yuki surveys the ruined forest. His upgraded barrier blocked everything, even the sound. The receptionist explains, since he defended the camp all night, he passed, smiling with double thumbs up. She congratulates him for passing the exam. Aleria joyfully hugs blushing Yuki, congratulating his success. Back at the guild, Yuki claims his official license and starts his new journey. He compares his new life to the corporate world he left behind. New chapter starts. Yuki and Aleria head to Calran Plains for their first quests. Aleria's stunned by the mountain of materials needed for their first mission. Yuki took 10 similar quests at once for efficiency, stunning Aleria. He scans the guild guide for the best gathering spot. He gapes in surprise at an entry in the guidebook. He says, "I see." Scanning the map page for required herbs, he heads for Choron Forest, despite Illyrian noting it wasn't the destination. Guidebook shows required herbs grow more abundantly in forests than plains. Yuki explains the forest's high magic spawns more herbs and flowers. Illyria worries she hasn't tested her new sword against stronger forest monsters. Yuki turns confidently, telling her not to worry. He reminds her, the guide says, no powerful monsters roam near the capital. His barrier blocks all attacks. Alleria agrees. She trusts him. They reach the dense Calron forest, ready for the mission. They trek the forest, a faint hexagonal barrier shimmers. As predicted, they find the flowers, and Alleria is thrilled. He decides they'll gather from one end. Alleria beams agreement. Alleria hums, remarking it feels more a picnic than a quest. A wolf, slime, and giant mantis creep from the brush, looking lethal. Invisible barrier stops monsters dead, protecting them while they gather herbs. Their bags are already bursting with herbs and flowers. A prompt asks to store his full inventory in his slot. Alleria warns their bags are full, oblivious to Yuki's new power. He opens his inventory, revealing a hexagonal grid that shocks Allerius. He explains it's an item slot, a magical storage, like a game's. Alleria is dumbfounded. Yuki's powers are truly unreal. They continue their work, ignoring the weight or space of their items. As day ends, Yuki suggests returning to the capital before dark, and Alleria instantly agrees. Blinding flash erupts in the sky, startling Alleria, putting Yuki on high alert. Jagged lightning rips through the dark sky as thunder booms. Alleria thinks the storm is strange, but Yuki senses unnatural rapid lightning strikes. The roar intensifies, vibrating right through Yuki's barrier. Yuki decides to investigate the disturbance, asking a hesitant Alleria to join him. He decides to watch from afar, believing no powerful monsters belong near the capital. The unnatural storm rages, thunder echoing through the ancient trees. Deep in the woods, Fabris leads the summoned heroes confidently toward their objective. Sirill teases Fabris, doubting the legendary water-eyed dragon is really this close to the city. Sirill swears total faith in Fabris, certain she can one-shot any enemy. Grim-face shield hero Cat Ash reminds Fabris and Sirill this is a serious mission, not a picnic. Fabris scoffs at the wolves, calling them small fry, not worth her time. She swings her massive greatsword with casual ease, aiming to finish the beast without warming up. One wolf tanks her strike, proving far tougher than she expected. Fabris smirks, clearly enjoying the creature's unexpected challenge. She lands a serious blow, blasting the wolf through the brush. Sirill cheers for the win, but the hooded figure doubts Fabris's true power. Sensing surging magic in the air, the hooded figure knows the monsters are getting stronger. Confident Sirill dismisses the warning, declaring Fabris unbeatable. Trusting the sword hero's supposed might, the party pushes deeper into the forest. They reach the clearing to find a cave sealed by a massive stone tablet. Katash studies ancient runes on the seal, finds nothing. Sirill teases Fabris for being tense, but the sword hero deflects with a compliment. Cat Ash snaps at his team to focus as his sharp senses catch an eerie sound. The massive stone seal suddenly cracks and splinters, its ancient magic failing after 1,000 years. Fabris and Sirill jump at the noise, still dismissing the impossible, the legendary dragons truly reviving. The seal detonates as a massive dragon silhouette rises from the dust. Fabris stares in shock as a massive beast looms over them. The legendary water-eye dragon, its body of shimmering, translucent blue crystal, reveals its magnificent form. Blindfolded hero warns stunned Fabris of grave danger. Fabris rallies her squad, vowing they want to lose if they fight as one. She orders Cat Hash to shield the dragon's attack, but he angrily refuses the suicidal command. The team shatters in a panic, fear crushing their duty before the great beast. The dragon fires a massive energy blast, swallowing the entire clearing in blinding light. A devastating blast overwhelms the heroes, shattering their formations and courage. Sirill cries out in despair, her healing magic useless against the dragon's destructive power. Broken, Katash calls the monster unbeatable and bolts, leaving his team to die. Abandoned by her coward ally, Fabris must find a way to survive certain death. The dragon spreads massive crystalline wings, descending like a falling meteor. It lands with a ground-shaking crash, its weight crushing Fabris' party under its claws. The throne shatters. Fabric lies broken, her body paralyzed by agony. The dragon's cold, crystalline eye fixes on the last, terrified sword hero. Paralyzed by fear, Fabris whimpers and begs the colossal beast to stay back. Her plea dissolves into a piercing scream, echoing through the forest, scattering birds into the sky. The scream draws Yuki and Illyria to the scene, their eyes widen at the shocking carnage. Yuki arrives, surveys the destruction, regretting he wasn't ready for the chaos. They find broken, defeated heroes scattered in debris like discarded dolls. The water-eyed dragon looms over the destruction, its crystal body shimmering in the dim light. Fabris spots them, pleads for help, but Yuki is unimpressed by the so-called hero's plight. The dragon shifts its gaze, locking onto the two newcomers who stumbled into its domain. It fires another devastating pure energy beam at Yuki and Illyria. Yuki yells for Illyria to retreat, raising his demon sword to face the blast head-on. He braces against the overwhelming force. His dark blade glows, absorbing the energy torrent. The dragon stops attacking, bowing low to speak to Yuki with sudden respect. Bewildered, Yuki confirms he's the sage, leaving him and Illyria wondering what's happening. The beast reveals it's the water-eyed dragon, sealed away for 1,000 years to heal. Colossal dragon suddenly enveloped in thick white smoke, its form hidden. With a poof and sparkles, it shrinks into a tiny new form. The tiny dragon cheerfully explains its small body, but its immense power is unchanged. Transformation complete. The dragon looks up at Yuki, ready to address its master. It apologizes for attacking his friend, but Yuki dismisses it. Illyria's fine. The dragon wasn't apologizing for Illyria, but for what it did to the fallen heroes. Fabris and Sirill sit up, staring in terror at the tiny creature that so easily defeated them. Yuki glares at the disgraced heroes, declaring he's no friend of theirs. Facing a tiny, deadly dragon, terrified Fabris begs for mercy, promising anything. Seizing her chance, she offers Yuki command of a hero party to win him over. Yuki rejects her offer. His voice sharp, he reminds her of the cruel words that cast him out. Fabris recoils, shocked. Her face pales as her callous judgment floods back. Flashback, heroes in the throne room callously expel the useless sage. Furious, Yuki demands they retract their lies and apologize for their cruelty. Faber stammers excuses, needing the king's permission to agree to his terms. Yuki's ultimatum: apologize or die right now. The little dragon's menacing growl forces terrified Fabris to agree to its demands. Taming a legendary dragon and humbling arrogant heroes, Yuki reflects on his chaotic new life. The chaos ends as morning breaks. Yuki and Illyria return to the Adventurers Guild in the heart of the capital. At the desk, Yuki tells the guild girl he's turning in their quest loot. The receptionist is baffled. Yuki has nothing to turn in for the quest. She asks to see his guild card to confirm his identity and quest. She reads the card and instantly recognizes the legendary Matsuzaki Yuki and his companion Illyria. Receptionist gushes, starstruck by his godlike power and handsome looks, making Yuki blush. After their quest, she announces an exceptional D-rank promotion. When handmade items come up, the smitten receptionist begs Yuki to make her one. She panics, realizing she overstepped, and stammers an apology for being unprofessional. Yuki agrees to her request for another time, leaving the receptionist giddy with excitement. Outside the guild, Yuki sighs in relief. His companion's legendary dragon identity stayed hidden. They head to Kauron Mountain for for their first official monster hunt. Facing a wolf pack, Yuki reassures a nervous Illyria that he and Sway have this covered. He warns her to stay sharp and keep her guard up, power or not. A system prompt flashes, and Yuki unlocks a new skill Demon Eye. Curious, he activates the new skill, Facing an Advancing Wolf. The skill reveals the wolf's name, level, and abilities, the ultimate appraisal tool. Knowing this, he warns Illyria of the creature S-Flame Fong attack. Yuki moves with blinding speed, instantly slicing the first lunging wolf in a blur. He cries, leaping into the swirling wolf pack's heart, his blade flashing dimly. Illyria tracks the fight, sword ready, her face set with nervous grit. A snarling wolf breaks from the pack, lunging at her with bared fangs. They fight in perfect, deadly sync, defending each other from the swarming pack. After the fight, Yuki praises their teamwork as Illyrian notices her rising confidence with her new blade. Yuki and Sway scout the forest, finding only weak monsters. Suddenly, Yuki sees something distant. Illyria sees it too and tells Yuki they have to help. Finding a trapped elf girl, Yuki vows to save her. They hack regenerating vines. Illyria screams it's endless. Thorny vines squeeze the captive elf's legs. Illyria gasps, startled and afraid. She gets caught too, horrifying both her and the elf. Yuki realizes finding and destroying the main body is faster. He asks Sway to draw enemy attacks as a diversion. Sway zips through the air, taunting the vines. Vines distracted, Yuki activates his Demon Eye skill to search. He spots the source, a massive monster flower lurking in the brush. Before the vines react, he strikes the core. With divine protection, he lunges, sword raised. His blade skewers the man-eater with a sickening squelch. Vines slacken. The captive elf questions why. Freed, the girl's dropped. Illyria knew it was close. The elf girl looks up, thanking her rescuers. She's a Naniel, an elven village warrior. Anna asks their names. Yuki introduces himself in Illyria. Yuki and Illyria are stunned. The elven lands are miles away. Anna says many elves from her village vanished. Hunting the bandits who took her friends, she walked into an ambush. Illyria is shocked, recalling she heard of elf slave traders. Ina confirms it, though slavery is banned everywhere. Oswald is rumored to harbor criminals. Yuki links this back to the bandits who targeted Illyria. He wants Ina to stay in the capital, hunt clues. He promises they'll back her mission 101. Ina accepts his offer, determined to find her friends. Illyria settles it as Yuki welcomes Ina aboard. Ina spots Sway, asks about the strange stuffed toy. She's stunned at talks, but Yuki promises answers later. A familiar face appears at the Capital S Guild. Bruised and bandaged Fabric approaches the counter, demands service. She demands every detail on adventurer Matsuzaki Yuki. She slams the counter, bragging she's the king's favorite hero. She snaps, grabs the receptionist, threatening answers. She screams she has no time for the guild's pointless rules. Regulus appears, blocks her strike, and demands to know what she's doing. He calls out the sword hero for her rude behavior. Fabris glares, declaring her actions aren't his business. Across town, Regulus's men report the king's investigation. Fabris suggests teaming up to crush the fraud who beat them. Regulus scoffs, doubting she could ever corner Yuki. He recalls Yuki's simple style, no malice. Fabris rages, daring him to defy a hero's command. Regulus tells her to stop. She's unfit to fight him. Gritting her teeth, the sword hero mutters a curse. She retreats, vows to expose the fake hero. S lies alone. The door slams, and the disgraced hero vanishes. Regulus questions the king's obsession with one adventure. He paces, stressed that Yuki's been branded a rebel. He realizes the Demon Lord's official story is a lie. He strokes his chin, piecing it all together. Scanning the city, he decides to investigate alone. Next morning, Yuki wakes, groaning, blushing profusely. Pinned in bed between Ilaria and Aina, he can't even move. A flashback shows how this began last night. As the party grew, Yuki suggested separate rooms. Shared room arrangement wasn't the issue. Yuki cited cost. Ilaria beams, saying sticking together is way more fun. Nervous, Aina agreed, warning Yuki, no funny business. Confused, Yuki asked what was so funny. Red-faced, Anna called him an idiot, couldn't explain. The four chibis say their goodnights. The moon hangs behind thick, dark clouds. Ilaria creeps over and sits on Yuki's bed. Ina sits up, asking Ilaria why she's in the wrong bed. Ilaria claims she was getting air a pathetic lie. Anna confronts her, demanding why she's flustered if just tired. She accuses Ilaria of plotting a move on sleeping Yuki. Ilaria blushes, admitting she has no excuse. She snuck in, admitting Yuki's side is comfy. Testing his claim, she climbs straight into bed with him. She claims she's just like Ilaria. Ilaria claims she belongs, but no one's asking why. Ilaria reveals Yuki unconsciously touches her chest while asleep. She boasts he's a breast connoisseur, choosing her over Anna. Competitive Anna challenges her, let Yuki decide. The crazy contest started, pinning Yuki between them. Sleeping, Yuki's hand gently rests on Illyria's chest. He wakes to a familiar feeling. Ilaria snuck in again. Anna, I see on his other side. Why is she there? Sways asleep on his stomach, pinning him down. Pinned between two women, he whines, his power fails. Unable to move, he stops struggling. He just goes back to sleep, ignoring it. Morning breaks as birds chirp over the inn. Sunlight floods the room, waking Yuki up. Aina and Ilaria smile, wishing him a good morning. They demand he stop playing dumb and judge the contest. Flustered Yuki shouts, he can to pick which felt better. The girls lean in, asking if that will really satisfy them. They clash, both certain Yuki will pick her. Pinned to the bedpost, Yuki yells, stop dragging him in. The party hits the mountains to test Aina's skills. Anna draws her bow like a seasoned warrior. Yuki sees elves shoot bows like legends. Anna narrows her eyes, launching her spirit-infused arrow. 3 flaming skulls erupt from the shot, homing in on their targets. Yuki praises her skill, saying she'd ace the guild's practical exam. Ilaria marvels at the display. Ina modestly credits her village's training. Yuki hates inefficient monster hunting, wants to gather them. Sway offers help. She resonates with monsters, attracting them. The little dragon focuses, summoning all nearby creatures. Sway summons a massive horde of fire wisps and salamanders. Yuki rallies his crew, ready to test their power against the army. Charging, he strikes a wisp, stunned by his strange power. Sway boasts about his new elemental attack. Little Dragon reveals new skill, empowering its master with water. Sway notices water deals double damage to these fire monsters. Yuki is amazed his sword shockwave defeats them. Anna joins the fight, aiming her bow at the flying wisps. Her arrows fly true, shattering the flaming skulls. Yuki stands firm as the monster horde swarms him. He carves through the creatures with a massive water strike. He and Aina fight in perfect sync, their fluid movements devastating. Ilaria watches in awe, her companion's immense strength. Snarling salamanders break away and lunge at her. Roaring, she slashes a beast with her sword. She's quickly surrounded and swarmed by the remaining monsters. Stealing her resolve, she'll win by taking them down one by one. The battlefield rages as Yuki and Aina dominate the fight. Sunset hits the mountains as the brutal battle finally ends. Aina's out of arrows, Yuki suggests the capital. At this rate, Aina's rank will definitely skyrocket. Anna laughs. Yuki's power is too abnormal to gauge. Yuki notices Illyria's weird silence and asks what's wrong. She fakes a smile, insisting she was just lost in thought. He asks if she's exhausted from slaying monsters all day. Illyria quickly denies it, insisting she's got energy. Ina stretches, bath ready, Yuki agrees, time to head home. Illyria's mind races, measuring her strength against her friend's immense power. She wonders if she helps Yuki. Smiling, Anna heads back, ending her adventure. Oswald's capital, a familiar face, spots them. Recovery hero, Sirill steps up and introduces herself. She leans in close, confessing her love for Yuki. She swoons as his power and heroic looks steal her heart. Flustered Yuki stops her, stunned by the sudden confession. She pours her heart out, yet Sirill still hesitates. She glares, asking how he rejected the world's #1 beauty. Yuki, Illyria, and Anna are baffled by our arrogant claims. Sirill rants about her divine beauty and power. She ends her speech, calling her beauty a sin from the gods. Yuki bluntly says he doesn't get it, zero interest in her. Anna and Illyria agree. Sirill is weird and suggests they leave. Yuki slams her for loving authority and assuming everyone's just like her. Sirill's shocked. He dare call her an idiot. Yuki cuts her off, demanding she mind her business or go home. She clutches her head in despair, crushed by his total humiliation. She snaps if he prefers the blonde or the flat elf over her. Her vicious insults leave Anna and Illyria reeling. Yuki's face hardens, refusing to let her insult his friends. He declares her rotten personality makes her charmless, despite her looks. He says she's nowhere near Anna and Illyria's appeal. Sirill stands speechless, her face frozen in total shock. She reaches to grab. He snags her wrist. Switching tactics, she leans in close to seduce him. She purrs, don't hesitate, promising to teach him about adult women. Silence hangs heavy as he readies his response to her move. He shoves her back, yelling, "Get a grip!" She recoils, faking an injury and screaming assault. He retorts he's never hit a woman, implying she isn't a one. He tells her she has zero charm and isn't worth his time. He gives Fabris a chilling, final warning. See them again. He kills them. He tells his companions they're leaving. Sirill defeated. Heading back, Yuki spots a dazed Illyria and asks what she's doing. She insists it's nothing, so he drops it for now. Illyria turns, thanks him for his actions. She thanks him for speaking up when she couldn't. He reassures her it was nothing. He only spoke the truth. Yuki warns his friends to ignore that woman's words. He notices again Illyria's strange mood. He wonders why Sirill's words sting. She's usually way tougher. They reached the tall, timber-framed adventurer guild. Guild receptionist greets Yuki personally. She asks why they're here, and he reports their successful hunt. She needs his guild license back to scan records. The feature surprises him. It's cutting-edge magical tech. The receptionist shrieks, calling 100 kills impossible. She confirms his daily kill count shattered the record. Processing the report, she tells him his rank goes up. While prepping his license, she demands Illyria's card too. Illyria refuses to hand over her adventurer's license. She claims she killed fewer monsters than Yuki and Anna. She can keep up and settles for D rank. Yuki asks the receptionist for help since she's new to this too. She explains under guild rules, Illyria keeps her rank. Yuki needs time to think, giving them 3 days. He accepts, asking her to hold his promotion. Outside the guild, Yuki tells Illyria they need to lighten the mood. He immediately asks why she rejected the promotion. She apologizes, but he cuts her off, demanding the reason. She confesses their fighting makes her feel inadequate. She remembers Yuki shielding her from Sirill's insults. She feels unqualified for their reward. Yuki listens closely, finally understanding her words. Yuki admits his fault to Ina for pushing Illyria too hard. He tells Illyria, "Don't to lose confidence." 4 words cut. Perfect, wait, let's try to be more dynamic. Anna watches them, her face set with determination. Let us try, Anna watches. She suggests Illyria use her Sirang power to complete a Sirang quest. Yuki agrees. Illyria should try it. Princess hesitates. He says if she ranks up solo, there's no problem. It's not an official job, he's just testing her strength. Anna offers to spar Illyria, prepping her for the challenge. She teases the princess, warning she'll soon outrank her. Illyria accepts, her eyes blazing with determination. Yuki decides to rest today, prep for tomorrow's trial. Next morning, the party's ready as Illyria vows to give her all. Alone, she faces the dark goblin nest, courage faltering. A goblin lunges from the shadows, making her shriek. She is surrounded by a horde of snarling goblins. The otherworldly sage begins special training. Yuki blocks the goblin, snapping at Illyria for her slow reaction. He tells her this C-rank quest is her chance to test her power. Goblin attacks from behind, Yuki warns the princess. Illyria spins, her sword clashing hard against the goblin's club. Goblin's assault overwhelms her, she finds no counter. Yuki cheers her defense, telling her to believe in herself. Two goblins leap down at her, weapons poised to strike. She parries their strikes, but their combined power drives her back. Yuki warns if she only defends, she'll get cornered and defeated. He screams at her to strike first. His words shatter her fear as she faces the monsters with new resolve. She drops both goblins with one powerful slash. Yuki praises her, telling her to never forget that feeling. She nods. He realizes Illyria wasn't weak. He remembers her courage, traveling to the capital alone. He sees her real enemy isn't the goblins, but her own doubt. He watches confidently, believing she'll win once she finds her strength. She moves faster, efficiently cutting down another goblin. She's getting the hang of it, so Yuki suggests a break. He asks about her new blade, and she says it's perfect. Flashbacks reveal the armorer who recommended Illyria's blade. Energized, Illyria urges them deeper into the cave. Yuki activates Demon Eye, but decides not to intervene yet. A status screen appears. Illyria is level 18, growing fast. He realizes goblins ahead, too strong for her to take on. He knows this is a secret C-rank quest for a full party. They peer into a massive cavern, the goblin nest's heart. Massive armored goblins emerge, led by a deadly goblin sage. Yuki knows this fight is tough, but a huge confidence boost if she wins. He tells Sway to bait the armored goblins away one by one. He orders the dragon pull them away, simplify the fight. Sway beckons an armored goblin, instantly grabbing its attention. Little dragon zips away, leading a powerful goblin from the fight. Illyria parries heavy club strikes from the armored goblins. A monster sees an opening, readies a decisive blow. She counters, slashing the goblin before it strikes. She calls out, ready for her next challenger. She is a steel whirlwind, battling multiple armored goblins. Her final strike fails the last armored warrior. System notification offers new skill body enhancement. She accepts, magic engulfing her as new power surges through her. Yuki watches with a pleased smile. Impressed Illyria uses skills. Another armored goblin lunges for a crushing overhead blow. She raises her blade, bracing for the blow. The blow feels weak. She knows she can easily win. She's mastered the flow of the goblin fight. She shreds the swarming reinforcements. She stands victorious after soloing the entire goblin nest. She asks, Yuki goblins gone. He confirms the nest is clear. He drops the truth. The quest was a C-rank party mission. She realizes clearing it alone proves her strength beyond C-rank. He asks if she's still refusing the rank up after that. She beams and thanks Yuki, crediting him for the win. Yuki, confident and pleased, beside the dozing Sway watcher, spirits restored, Yuki heads back to town. Cutting from the cave, they return to the capital's adventurer guild. At the desk, Illyria announces she's confident again. The receptionist asks for the report, and Yuki reveals Alleria soloed the goblin nest. Stunned, the receptionist demands a repeat. Yuki calmly turns in the C-rank goblin quest. Receptionist denies that quest was on the board. She finds a lost request confirming a goblin hunt. She profusely apologizes for staff misplacing the request. She mutters she must alert the boss to the error. Her eyes widen, shocked by the slip's fine print. She shrieks, "This isn't C-rank, it's a B-rank party quest." The truth stuns Yuki and Illyria. The receptionist grabs the princess, demanding how she pulled off the impossible. Yukim realizes Alleria might now be stronger than the heroes. Anna finds Yuki surrounded by glassware and herbs. He finally tests his alchemy using the materials they gathered. He mixes ingredients, skill activates, magic circle flares. Poof! The system confirms he just crafted a level 1 potion. Alleria is amazed he crafts potions, usually shop-bought. Ina asks if he'll use holy water, a super-rare alchemy ingredient. Even in her village, holy water is essential. Sway offers some, boasting it's easy for a water dragon. Trusting the little dragon, Yuki holds out a large beaker. Sway's mouth unleashes a massive torrent of sparkling holy water. Yuki, new ingredient in hand, unleashes alchemy again. He crafts a glowing LV2 potion. Sway says its legendary alchemist made greater things. Yuki holds his creations, realizing experiments unlock new recipes. Yuki activates alchemy, crafting a new potion. The mixture glows bright, stunning Yuki, Alleria, and Anna. He brewed a level 3 shining potion, leaving Sway thrilled. It's wild. He crafts high-grade potions easily without equipment. Alleria proposes Yuki could make a fortune as a merchant. Yuki agrees. Wholesaling potions to merchants is smart. He dreams of luxury, brewing potions while others sell them. Anna reveals merchants sell their famous village medicines. Alleria mentions rumors of an elven immortality elixir, shocking Yuki. Alleria reveals this legendary elixir makes their village a constant target. Yuki doubts he'll make it, but Sway remembers an ancient alchemist who did. Yuki laughs, realizing Sway's talking about an ancient myth. Capital Night regulars yell at thugs to stop. He catches them dragging a terrified, chained elf through an alley. Slavers corner her, telling her nowhere left to run. A thug grabs her throat, snarling she's never going home. They threaten her, ordering her back to her cell. No fight. Regulus steps in, coldly demanding what they're doing to the girl. Slavers recognize Regulus, annoyed he's ruining their business. The leader claims a powerful figure, ordered the elf's return. Regulus recognizes them as the rumored suspicious guys. He demands their boss, they mock and challenge him. Regulus accepts, he'll gladly force the info out. Slavers sneer, bring it on, itching for a fight. They lunge, swearing he'll regret crossing them. They swarm Regulus, taunting the kingdom's so-called strongest adventurer. The brawl rages in the dark alley. A slaver spots an opening, lunges to stab Regulus in the back. A crowd gathers, making the slavers panic about the guards. Cursing their luck, they retreat, vowing to fight again. Regulus comforts the wounded elf, promising help as she thanks him. She tells him her friends are trapped in the castle dungeon. With her last strength, she asks for one final favor. She gives him a glowing stone, pleading he take it to her village. She warns of approaching danger and must reach them before it's too late. Regulus, speechless, grasps the horror of her words. He questions the king's plan and Yuki's role in the scheme. At Oswald Castle, the king hears a guard's shocking report. The guard confirms the elf escaped after Regulus crushed her captors. The king fumes. His men can capture one elf. He snaps at the guard to restart the elf hunt. The guard leaves, and the king plots his next move alone. A shadow appears, mocking the king's struggle. King sends bandits for dirty work, protecting his soldiers. Entity reminds him of his promise. The king assures he will. The entity demands more elven magic to reach its goal. It's using magic to unseal an ancient evil dragon. The entity asks the king what he desires, calling him greedy. The king reveals he's hunting the elves' legendary immortality elixir. The entity promises aid if the king proves loyalty to demons. It grins menacingly, warning the king his time is up. Watching it vanish, the king mutters he must hurry his plans. Aina fears Regulus and fake heroes are obstacles. On Coron Plains, Anna distracts a red ogre while Illyria strikes. Aina dodges the ogre's attack, grabbing its full attention. Illyria grins confidently and tells Anna she's taking over. She charges, sword flashing, slashes the massive beast. She wounds its arm, shouting that its club is useless. Enraged ogre roars in pain as Illyria preps her next strike. She calls out the left arm and lunges back in. She dodges the swing, plunging her sword deep into the ogre's side. Yuki cheers from the sidelines, urging her to show Aina her training results. Illyria roars yes, igniting her body enhancement skill. Empowered, she leaps high for the finishing blow. Her blade cleaves the ogre's skull in two. Anna praises her skill. Illyria stands tall over the fallen beast. Anna praises her, but Illyria shyly gives Yuki the credit. Yuki defeated a monster normally needing a full party. Fabris and Sirill appear. Fabris vows to defeat traitor Yuki. Yuki looks bored, asking what they want this time. Fabris accuses him of kidnapping Illyria, the wireless princess. The accusation blindsides Yuki and Illyria. Illyria snaps she wasn't kidnapped. She was almost sold to the kingdom. Yuki asks why Fabris persists when the princess herself denies it. Fabris smirks, claiming the king will forgive him for the princess's return. Amused, Yuki dares them to take Illyria by force. He warns he's not responsible if Illyria resists. Illyria gets it, agrees confidently. Yuki grins, dropping one last secret on the heroes. He gestures them inside Illyria. He points at the dead ogre. Illyria defeated it solo. Fabris and Sirill freeze, refusing to believe the impossible story. Illyria challenges them. Doubt her power. See it. Goaded by Sirill, furious Fabris accepts the challenge, sword drawn. She lunges at Illyria, striking hard to test the princess's skill. Illyria parries the blow, declaring it's her turn. Stunned by Illyria's power, Fabris dismisses it as a total fluke. Anna watches, stunned, as Illyria parries every strike. Fabris flails desperate blows. Illyria effortlessly blocks them. Sirill's losing patience as Fabris falls behind the princess. Illyria readies her finisher to end the duel. She triggers her enhancement, her body glowing with power. She powerfully strikes Fabris' sword, shattering his stance. One final strike disarms Fabris, slamming her sword into the dirt. Victorious Illyria asks the defeated hero to continue. Fabris panics, hands up, screaming surrender. Chibi Yuki pops in to confront the defeated Fabris. He demands her opinion on his honor now, but she's speechless. Fabris bluffs, claiming Yuki won't kill her and risk becoming a criminal. Fabris and Sirill laugh, claiming victory despite losing, confusing Yuki. Yuki yanks Fabris's armor, telling her she's dead wrong. Shocked, the sword hero mutters a curse. She yields, but Yuki dismisses her lies. He confronts her about framing him for Princess Illyria's kidnapping. Hooking her chest, he demands a public confession. She argues it to shatter the king's power and trust. Yuki confirms the truth, forcing a choice: social ruin or death. Friends watch as he tells the defeated hero to choose. Anna and Illyria spot rising red smoke ahead. Sirill points to the smoke. Fabris identifies it as emergency flares. Fabris stares up in horror, realizing red means certain death. Her cruel, manic grin spreads as she finds the chaos I am using. She warns the red flare, signals a demon invasion. She claims demons can destroy nations. She sneers, asking if demons or his own actions will destroy the kingdom first. She and Sirill warned Yuki Don to die. Anna and Ilaria turn to Yuki, fearing the city is doomed. Yuki remembers the innocent townspeople, vowing to protect them. He won't abandon the capital, only one path remains. He rallies his friends, rush to the city. Winged demons swarm the capital's streets. Citizens screams, demons invaded, urging everyone to flee. A demon spear shreds the fleeing man. The knight yells for an old man to run, receiving a quick thanks. An endless tide of winged demons swarms Regulus. Yuki and his party arrive, check on him, and offer support. Regulus looks up at his saviors, shocked and relieved. Yuki's single/cuts down a demon invader. Ilaria and Anna leap in, fighting with deadly grace. Area clear. Yuki asks Regulus what's happening in the city. Girls fight back to back. The monster horde is endless. Regulus warns the demons are summoning endless backup. Yuki sees demons all flying toward the castle. Realizing the king is the target, Regulus asks if Yuki's fighting alone. Yuki refuses to let the nation die for the king. Regulus looks at him. His perception of the sage shifts. He apologizes to Yuki, admitting he misjudged him. He recalls their duel, realizing Yuki's anger was justified. After their fight, he scouted the kingdom and found dark secrets. The king's corruption spawned unjust taxes and rampant crime. Regulus asks Anna if she ate from the elven village. He hands her a massive glowing stone set in silver. Anna gasps, eyes widening in shocked recognition. She recognizes her people's sigil, given to Regulus by an elf he saved. He explains the elf escaped the castle dungeon, others remain captive. Her final message warns of danger heading for her village. Anna sees her friends trapped. She vows to save them. Yuki stops her, warning it's too reckless to face the chaos alone. Yuki ducks for cover, telling her to stay calm and make a plan. Sway offers help. Yuki splits them into two groups. He sends Anna and Ilaria to the dungeon and confronts the demons alone. Anna protests, itching to fight demons, but fears for her captive friends. Yuki demands they both listen closely, secure the city first, but Anna's friends need saving now. He warns focusing on one threat means losing the other. He orders Anna and Ilaria to cooperate and rescue the elves from the dungeon. Anna doubts her strength, but Yuki reminds her of Ilaria's power. Confident Ilaria vows to be Anna's strength. Worried for Yuki, she warns him not to be reckless. Yuki smiles, legendary sage. Then defeating demons should be easy. Another wave attacks. Regulus curses endless reinforcements. Yuki orders the girls to flee, while he and Regulus hold back the demon tide. Two men brace. As Regulus roars, none shall pass. Two demons lunge at Regulus, spears poised. Regulus and Yuki shout, clashing with the monster. They fight back to buy time for the rescue mission. Sway transforms into a colossal crystal dragon. Screams and terror erupt, yet Yuki calmly assures him the dragon is an ally. The water-eye dragon unleashes an earth-shaking roar. Its devastating breath instantly vaporizes a demon horde. The dragon bows, offering Yuki a ride to the castle. Yuki boards, leaving Regulus to defend the city. Stunned, Regulus stammers a warning for Yuki's mission. The dragon's powerful wings beat, launching it skyward. Yuki stands firm on its back, soaring toward the besieged castle. Regulus watches them go, trusting Yuki with the kingdom's fate. Approaching, the dragon asks its master to crash through. Yuki eyes the castle walls, doubting they'll hold. The dragon slams headfirst through the stone ramparts. It bursts into the throne room, terrifying the cowering king. The king and demon general freeze at the violent intrusion. Yuki hits the floor, mocking the kingdom's rude welcome. King's trembling finger points, recognizing his banished outcast. He stammers Yuki's name, shocked by the sage before him. Yuki faces the traitor king and his demon ally in the ruins. The demon general recognizes him. Sage, Matsuzaki, Yuki. He launches a massive fireball, vowing Yuki's head his prize. Yuki flicks his blade, effortlessly swatting the fireball aside. He lands gracefully, untouched by the demon's magic. Demon General S stunned. His spell vanished instantly. Yuki sneers, asking if that weak attack is all the demons have. He tells the demon his king hostage attempt was pointless. Shocked, the demon asks if Yuki refuses to save the monarch. Yuki declares he's not here to help the corrupt king. He confronts the demon, demanding to know his purpose. The demon smirks, revealing Yuki's a sage. The ritual failed, summoning a sage instead of a hero. He explains this invasion punishes them for summoning their greatest enemy. He mocks the heroes as pathetic, harmless weaklings. A sage is a legendary cataclysm, appearing once an age. King Selbel desperately denies knowing the sage. In the rubble, Urek scoffs at the king's greed. The demon's blade grazes the king's throat. He slams the king for using demonic power. Yuki draws his sword, demands answers. Furious, Urek lunges to challenge the sage. Winged demons swarm the castle dungeon. The creature kicks a cell door open. Two captive elves huddle in terror. Demons swarm the elves, ripping clothes. An elf screams for help. Arrows rain down, dropping the demons. Anna and Aleria arrive, offering help. They slaughter the demons and clear the area. Slavers captured the elves. One holds out a dark oval brooch. He recognizes it instantly. It's his friend Maya's. Anna's sorry for not helping Maya sooner. She uncovers King Selbel's elf hunting ring. They find a strange, dormant magic device. ELS confirm it drained their magic. It took a massive army of elves. Anna recalls Maya saw warning village in danger. Fearing the king, Aleria plans a direct invasion. She screams a warning as danger nears. Anna spins as more demons burst in. Demon reinforcements swarm, trapping them. Anna fights to protect others. Aleria agrees, trusting Yuki completely. Throne room, Jure unleashes a massive fireball. Yuki stays cool, ready to deflect. He swats the fireball aside with his sword. Juriek's impressed. Admitting the sage's capability, Yuki wounded him without even trying. Demon unleashes a magic crystal to finish it. Yuki and Sway track his next move closely. Urek shatters the crystal, swearing to unleash his true power. He gulps the shards, and his body mutates. Magic courses through him, fueling monstrous change. He emerges massive, stats maxed out. He unleashes a fiery storm from the air. The Demon King unleashes hell, screaming for Yuki's death. Yuki braces his sword against the magical onslaught. The attack detonates, shattering the castle tower. Regulus panics below. Violent tremors above rock the dungeon. Aleria and Aina fear for Yuki. Zurich laughs, mocking the defeated sage. Yuki stands untouched behind a hexagonal barrier. Demon's triumph shatters into disbelief. He demands answers, unable to comprehend. Yuki reveals his barrier magic saved him. Zurich's shocked sage wields ancient magic. Enraged, he'll shatter the unbreakable shield. He unleashes a demonic vortex. Chaotic magic slams the barrier and vanishes. Yuki smiles, asks why he stopped his shield unscathed. Declaring his turn, Yuki lunges. He lands a heavy punch, but Urek roars it's useless. Demon boasts his enhanced body can be harmed. Yuki knows basic strikes won't cut it. Sway, his dragon, eagerly helps. Little Dragon breathes deep, poised to strike. It blasts the demon with a massive water jet. Stunned, Jurek calls the water move a cheap trick. Yuki confirms the fire demon's weakness water. He begs Sway to enchant his sword. Water blade ready, Yuki faces Jurek. He leaps. His sword shreds demon defenses. Zurich forces a heal, roaring he wanted lose. Yuki hammers with the enchanted blade. He triggers his ultimate divine protection. His empowered strike pierces the demon's chest. Sword glows, he declares the end. Yurek faces the final challenge. He roars for Yuki, unleashing power. Yuki's ultimate rips through the demon's gut. The blow explodes with pure energy. Zurich gasps, stunned by the legendary sage's power. Body crumbling, the demon stumbles back. Yuki demands why the king sought demonic power. Zurich reveals the king feared death. Selbel hired slavers to capture elves. He traded their magic to a demon for a cure-all. Demons exploited the king's ambition to spark wars. King oblivious to their true purpose. Yuki questions the goal, but Zurich only smirks. Demon declares their objective achieved. Fading, he warns Yuki not to forget. Yuki dreads this is just the start. Zurich dissolves, hailing the demon lord. King Selbel thanks Yuki for saving him. His relief turns to terror, a sword at his neck. Yuki coldly snaps. He didn't come to save him. The king panics, finally seeing the sage's power. Yuki presses the blade, naming the king's sin. He reveals the king as crimes against Ilaria and elves. The king whimpers as judgment finally falls. Yuki could kill him, but it's not his place. He warns the king to repent before judgment falls. Regulus cuts down a demonic invader in the capital's war-torn streets. Amidst the carnage, he pauses, sensing the battle shift. He looks up as the winged demons flee. He smirks. Yuki did it. Dungeon deep, Anna and Illyrian see demonic reinforcements halt. Weary, dirt-smudged citizens greet dawn. Sunrise over the castle, the nightmarish battle finally ends. Armored guards march disgraced King Selbel through the plaza. The crowd whispers the king's defeat as a new chapter dawns. Regulus faces the crowd, ready to expose last night's attack. He points an accusing finger. King Selbel invited the demons. Shock ripples through the stunned crowd. Regulus reveals the king's demon pact for the immortality elixir. Demons attacked because the king broke their deal. The king desperately insists he saved the country. Regulus scoffs, doubting his dangerous gamble would pay off. The king foolishly summoned heroes to fight demons later. Yuki confronts the king, blasting him for risking the capital. Regulus exposes more of the king's crimes, starting with unfair taxes. The crowd agrees. They suffered his corrupt rule. A citizen remembers streets are too dangerous to walk alone. Others recall the brutal taxes meant for war. Regulus blames the king for their suffering. He hired bandits as cops, leading to Illyria's kidnapping. He kidnapped elves, draining their magic for the ritual. Regulus asks the crowd how to right these wrongs. He declares the king's crimes deserve death and asks for their consent. Crowd roars agreement, demanding justice from Regulus. King Selbel gasps in pure terror. A citizen yells that a demon-allied kingdom can be trusted. Another cries out, remembering the sacrifices. He swears the king will pay for his betrayal. The people's anger boils over, demanding the death penalty. The king trembles in the guard's grip, whimpering for his life. Yuki stares at the broken man. This is your retribution. He knows they would have reached the same verdict without him. A shared look with Regulus confirms the decision. The king faces the guillotine as the executioner readies the blade. Head in the stock, the king screams, refusing death. The blade thuds home, spraying blood. The crowd watches in silent shock as the king is executed. Yuki and Regulus watch the horror, faces grim. Ilaria and Anna watch, frozen in shock and grief. Disgraced heroes, Fabris and Sirill watch from the crowd in horror. The king's crown hits the ground. His terror reign ends. People question, who will rule the empty throne? Regulus names his hero, Yuki, the new king. Ilaria and Aina are all in. Yuki awkwardly declines, no desire to be king. Stunned by his refusal, the girls demand to know why. He reveals a better candidate for the throne. He points to a stunned Regulus, declaring him the people's choice. The crowd roars knowing Regulus fought to save them. Constant protests show poor political skill, yet you dismiss it. Yuki winks, vows to advise the new king. Moved by their trust, Regulus takes the crown. Citizens cheer, eager to follow their new leader. Regulus salutes the adoring crowd as they chant his name. Yuki and his crew watch confetti shower the new king. King Regulus kicks things off by banishing the former heroes. Fabris resists and vows revenge as Sirill weeps for her darling. Banishment sends a powerful political statement to other nations. Yuki surveys the city, the crisis finally over. Alleria smiles, relieved the kingdom's chaos is finally over. Yuki looks grim. He knows he's not finished. He turns to Anna, bringing up her village. He remembers the demoness words about elves, magic, as true purpose. Anna remembers the warning, danger is heading for her home. She fears demons already reached her people. Yuki declares he's heading to the elven village immediately. Alleria refuses to stay behind and joins the group. Aina sees the distance. Yuki has a way. He reveals their transport. Sway instantly flies them there. Sway shifts into a massive dragon, shocking the crowd. Yuki apologizes to Regulus for abandoning him to the aftermath. He'll return to settle the score once his quest is over. Regulus agrees to save a celebratory drink for Yuki's return. Party aboard, Sway announces it's time to depart. The great dragon takes flight. Hopeful citizens cheer below. It streaks over the forest, racing toward elven lands. Yuki enjoys the flight. Illyria marvels at the view. Alleria spots Anna, clinging to her, shaking in terror. Anna fears heights. Alleria is unfazed. Alleria cheers, feeling just like a bird. Yuki teases Aina, calling her fear cute and vulnerable. Anna snaps at his teasing, but he just finds it hilarious. Alleria joins, hugs Yuki, sparking playful rivalry with Anna. Approaching the mountains, Yuki orders Sway to land. Alleria asks why they can land in the village. Yuki chooses stealth to save the hostages. The dragon swoops to the ancient forest. Aina leads them through the woods to her secret hideout. They enter the ancient elven forest's dark canopy. Yuki's stunned Aina can navigate these featureless woods. She says forest spirits guide the elves. Panicked birds burst from the trees. Yuki senses a change. The girls just notice fresh air. His face hardens. He senses trouble. He senses an evil shift in the forest. The girls are clueless as Yuki draws his sword, sensing danger. In the forest, Yuki slashes the monstrous spider, attacking. Anna feels a murderous aura from the surrounding creatures. Yuki realizes the demoness rot has already hit the elven lands. Alleria agrees, no time to waste on these corrupted beasts. Trapped by spiders, Yuki vows to break through. Alleria charges, blur sword flashing at arachnids. Rena provides cover fire, her arrows hitting with lethal precision. A figure steps from the shadows and one shots a spider. The demoness is Carmela, one of the 4 heavenly kings. Yuki taunts her, dismissing another subordinate, demands her leader. Carmela laughs, warns him not to underestimate her power like Durex. He orders her aside. They're in a rush. She scoffs, giving them a greeting they'll regret. Screaming, she unleashes a massive lightning blast. The blast shatters against Yuki's hex shield. He scoffs that her weak magic can't touch him. Carmela faked shock, realizing he was the Dragon-S master. She taunts them. Can their attacks even reach her? Anna steps up and tells Yuki to back off, drawing her bow. Carmela's lightning shield vaporizes her arrows mid-flight. They stare, shocked. Her arrows were so easily nullified. Alleria charges straight for the demoness. Carmela sneers, calling the princess reckless, ready to counter. Lightning crackles around the demoness's hand. Illyria screams as lightning paralyzes her entire body. The demoness grips the princess, taunting her foolish courage. She whispers this troubles even a legendary sage. Yuki slams her cowardly tactics, but she calls it cunning. This captive is way more useful than Brutus Urek. Furious, Yuki lunges, demanding the princess be freed. Carmela smirks, declaring the pleasantries over. She declares her prize for the village ahead. Illyria screams his name. They vanish in a dark energy flash. Yuki and Aina scream their friend's name into the void. Yuki clenches his fist, cursing his powerlessness. Aina comforts him, insisting it's not his fault, he was blindsided. She reassures him, certain they won't hurt a hostage. He asks how far the village is. Anna says it's close. Sway's horn erupts with strange energy. The dragon senses dark power gathering nearby. Aina senses disaster at home. They have to move now. They cautiously near the hidden elven settlement sedge. They reach the gate, but Yuki knows charging in is suicide. He senses the eerie silence. Suspects lookouts silenced. Aina tells him to relax and follow her lead. She leads him to a spot at the forest edge. The illusion vanishes, exposing her secret emergency stairs. Yuki fears an ambush. Aina trusts the path is safe. Only a few elves know this secret passage. At the tunnel's end, she declares safe entry. They arrive to a piercing scream for help from a nearby alley. They spot a young elf girl attacked by leering horned demons. She screams as demons tear her clothes. Yuki roars, coming to save her. He and Anna charge, slashing the monsters. Aina rushes to the girl, asks if she's okay. The rescued elf stares at Aina in shock. They know each other. Shoal, Aina's sister. Tears stream as they hug, safe and relieved. Yuki confirms the young elf is Anna's sister. Aina introduces Yuki to Shul as her savior. Aina urgently questions her sister about their village. She explains demons invaded, snatching elves to drain their magic. Yuki wonders why the demons need so much magic. She looks away, refusing to consider the reason. She's terrified they were summoning the ancient evil dragon. Gods sealed this legendary beast for challenging them. Yuki asks Sway about the creature, and the dragon recognizes it. Sway reveals evil dragons serve the demon race. Yuki is the legendary water eye dragon incarnate. Shul freezes, wondering who Yuki is to command such a being. He smiles, calling himself a passing sage. His title stuns her. She asks if he's the prophesied Almighty One. Legends tell of an all-arts master who commanded dragons. Yuki cheekily confirms he coincidentally does it all. Filled with hope, she declares it's fate's guidance. She hands him a massive ancient grimoire. He asks about the book. Anna sees its value. She rescued this sacred elven text from the invaders. She can read the ancient text, but believes he can. He opens the book, hoping his skill unlocks the ancient ruins. Focusing, his eyes flash with the truth. He masters flare instantly, leaving Aina stunned. He sees this new magic can defeat Carmela. The elf sisters rush to confront the demons. Anna orders her sister to evacuate as they fight. Yuki's plans save the captives, then fight. Suddenly, the ground violently shakes. Yuki spots the plaza, gasping in horror. A demonic tree erupts, fusing elves to its trunk. The horrific tree keeps growing, absorbing more captive elves. Tentacles drain the life from the captive elves. Slimy appendages writhe, pulsing with stolen life force. The captive elf shrieks as tentacles swarm her. A fleshy mouth splits the tree, ready for its next victim. Grotesque appendages launch a relentless, violating assault. The trapped elves are defenseless against the draining tendrils. The captive elf shrieks, begging not to die. A new, powerful demon watches, terror, a fitting offering. Sway IDs the demon Carmela Superior, as Yuki senses a dark ritual starting. Yuki and Illyria stare in shock at the horror. Carmela taunts the terrified princess, promising to make her scream. Ashamed, Illyria cries as slimy tentacles erupt from her chest. She's horrified. Even Yuki never touched her there. Carmela craves Illyria's pained voice, demanding more. Kelka knows it's a game to lure sages. Ilaria desperately hopes Yuki sees and saves her. A dripping maw lunges, hungry to taste her first. The beast lunges, hungry for Ilaria and her magic. Tentacles bind Ilaria, crying for Yuki. Dragged into the fleshy prison, the monster blinds her. Gasping in pain, she loses her breath as her strength fails. The tree's flesh swallows the struggling princess. Carmela mocks how's it feel inside the flesh golem. Ilaria's strength is being swallowed and consumed. Carmela longs to see her struggling face during this ordeal. A swift arrow slices toward the demoness. Carmela raises a hand, blocking with a lightning shield. Annoyed, she turns to Yuki, Anna, and Sway. Yuki demands Ilaria and the elves back. Carmela mocks Ilaria. Her magic will fail before the elves. Anna warns Ilaria's in grave danger from dwindling magic. Carmela sneers, mocking their pathetic rescue attempt. Yuki roars silence, vows to save Ilaria, and lunges. His blade strikes her hand, but she claims Calchas won to be harmed. Yuki's going all out, no time for games. He presses his attack, but Carmela parries with magic. She cages them in lightning, telling them to have fun. Anna unleashes a rapid arrow volley, seeking an opening. Carmela's lightning shield vaporizes the arrows instantly. Anna realizes arrows useless. Yuki sees the shield, anticipate every shot. Yuki realizes her predictable defense is a trap. He orders Anna to fire a scattered volley, threatening Carmela. Anna trusts the plan and lets her arrows fly. Carmela scoffs at the missed arrows, mocking her aim. She'll just knock them all down again. Her shield expands. Yuki shouts, activating his skill. Yuki asks if she can even defend this time. He bursts through her guard, piercing her shoulder. Carmela's stunned. How did he land that hit? Yuki's lightning shield perfectly anticipated every arrow. That precision opened the gap he needed. Carmela clutches her wound. Enraged, he dodged her lightning. Aina unleashes a chaotic barrage of arrows. Carmela snarls, calling the endless attacks a nuisance. She asks how many times they try that useless trick. Yuki triggers his skill, hunting for an opening. He outpaces her lightning. She questions the sage's power. Carmela mocks the failing trick and threatens Aina. Aina warns Yuki her arrows are low, but he knows. Furious, Carmela swears he'll regret scarring her face. Yuki warns she'll regret ever hurting Ilaria. 6 words, raising his grimoire. He unleashes flare. Wait, I'll keep ancient to be safe on plot. Raising his grimoire, he unleashes. Solar energy blasts the shocked demoness. Engulfed in flames, she recognizes the lost non-elemental magic. She refuses to lose to this prey. Anna cheers, but Yuki warns the demoness still lives. Charred, broken, Carmela rises. It's not over. She begs Calchas for one last shot to prove herself. She begs for power to crush their enemies. A gloved hand reaches from shadows for the defeated demoness. Calchas appears, snatching his subordinate's throat. He agrees to use her body and magic. In exchange, he promises she'll be reborn with victorious power. Screaming, dark energy consumes her, a living sacrifice. Calchas raises his arms, commanding the evil dragon to rise. Dark energy swirls as the dragon is reborn. Aina is horrified he to sacrifice a subordinate. Yuki sees his intent. Power surges through Carmela in pure ecstasy. She cries out, calling it the best. Calchas asks if the magic is sated or craves more. Ground trembles. Colossal dragon bursts from darkness. The revived dragon rises, its insane stats flashing before Yuki. Anna asks if it's the evil dragon, and Yuki grimly nods. Ancient beast, Calchas, rewards it with the name Carmela. He makes new Carmela unleash the power she craved. Dragon fused, Carmela unleashes a terrifying roar. Dark lightning erupts from her, slamming the ground. Not the attacker's power. Yuki fears his barrier will fail. A wild lightning storm rips the village apart. Kelka laughs, boasting their barrier won to stop the dragon. Yuki curses, forced to fix the barrier as Sway speaks up. A Sway puffs out his chest, demanding its master stand aside. Yuki's stunned Sway won't forgive a dragon siding with demons. 10 words. Wait, can I make it punchier? Yuki's shocked. Yuki lets Sway handle it, earning a grateful thank you, master. The little dragon glows, channeling massive power. Sway flashes into the majestic water-eyed dragon. Kelkus knows this beast the perfect test for his creation. The water-eyed dragon growls, challenging its foe. Evil dragon, Carmela fused to its back, accepts challenge. 2 colossal dragons roar and charge, blurring into motion. The dragon lunges, claws and fangs at its opponent. The beasts collide, rocking the plaza with earthquake force. The evil dragon bites deep into the water dragon's armored neck. Carmela blasts a point-blank dark lightning torrent from her maw. The dragons clash in a brutal close-range brawl. Water-eyed dragon braves, the lightning storm, scales crackle. Kelkus smirks as the brutal battle rages. Yuki and Aina watch the titanic clash, awestruck and concerned. The dragons clash in a whirlwind of destruction. High above, the resurrected dragon roars with Demon Lord Kalka on its back. Kelka gloats over the ruins, claiming this power will end the world. Aina frets Sway overwhelmed, but Yuki calmly assesses, Sway's holding back, just gauging the dragon's power. Aina shouts, Illyria friends face danger with any delay. Yuki understands, but they must stay calm to win. He prioritizes dragon's defeat is key, but friends come first. He splits forces, sending Sway and him to face main threats. He tasks Aina to rescue Illyria, a huge responsibility, stunning her. Guilt-stricken, Anna tearfully apologizes for dragging them into her village's mess. She hates her powerlessness, frustrated she can't help. Yuki comforts her, stating he came of his own free will. No regrets. He hands her his powerful potion and orders her to take it. 1 sip saves her friends for now. He tells her to give it to Illyria once freed. Anna drinks the potion as Yuki's face twists in alarm. A dark, crackling demonic sphere hurtles at them from the sky. Yuki raises his sword, his hexagonal barrier easily deflecting the blast. Go, he shouts, trusting her with Illyria as she runs. Anna looks back, warning Yuki not to be reckless in the next fight. Kelkus appears, scoffing how long Yuki will keep him waiting. Yuki snaps, he won't die, warning Kalka he's the one in danger. The title page shows 2 colossal dragons locked in an epic clash. Kelka smirks, confident he'll crush the sage. The Demon Lord readies for battle, a runic circle glowing at his side. Their swords meet in a massive explosion, shattering the ground. Kelka crushes Yuki, mocking his pathetic strength. Demon Lord questions Yuki's seriousness, expecting a greater challenge. Yuki grits his teeth, bracing as the overwhelming force shoves him back. Kalka's powerful swing sends Yuki flying backward. Through Yuki lands, he admits Kalkus truly earns his title. He plants his feet, ready to continue the grueling defense. Not done yet, Yuki shouts, lunging to meet Kalka's next attack. Blades lock. Yuki asks if Kalka's in a rush to die. The Demon Lord scoffs at a mere human-esque defiance. Yuki stands firm, stalling until his friends are safe. Anna frantically searches the village ruins for Illyria. She spots an elf trapped in vines and screams, praying she's alive. Captive Illyria weakly warns Anna escape. Aina 1T leave, but Illyria warns demons are closing in. Suddenly, a swarm of snarling winged demons dives down. Aina quickly draws her bow. Her arrows fell 2 demons. She's frustrated by the massive monster horde gathering here. She reaches for an arrow, gasping her quiver empty. A demon drops on her, club raised to kill. Anna parries with her bow, stumbling from the impact. Her bow is knocked away, leaving her defenseless against the monster. She spots a familiar sword, stuck in the dirt. Illyria's blade, a beacon of hope in the chaos. She grabs the sword and skewers the demon. She knows Illyria's close, her resolve renewed. She screams Illyria's name, begging her friend to answer. She discovers a grotesque, fleshy pod hanging from a demonic tree. Familiar legs dangle from the opening. Illyria's trapped inside. She finally sees why the monsters swarmed and vows to save her. She hacks the pod with Illyria's sword, demanding her friend back. The Illyria tumbles out, unconscious, covered in viscous slime. Aina catches her, begging her to be okay, relieved she made it in time. She checks a pulse, relieved her friend still breathes. Left with no choice, she saves him with a potion-filled kiss. Illyria stirs, lips respond as magic takes hold. Eyes snapping open, she blushes and asks Aina if they just kissed. Aina, tears of relief, confirms Yuki's potion worked. Illyria leaps up, arms flailing with fresh energy. Stronger than ever, she rejoins the fight. Anna explains Yuki entrusted her with Illyria's rescue as he holds off the demons. Illyria hunts for Yuki and Sway, finding them battling the reborn evil dragon. Girls decide to leave fast, but Illyrian sees others trapped. Anna's out of arrows, and Illyria is too weak to fight. A monstrous, clawed foot appears, heralding more demons. Illyria and Anna get swarmed by another wave of wing monsters. Stay back! Anna Alia steps forward to shield her friend. Demons roar, their empty eyes lock on the two girls, ready to attack. Illyria becomes a steel whirlwind, dancing through death. Power restored, she decimates the demonic horde. Aina asks if she's okay. Stunned by the instant recovery, Illyria flexes triumphantly, declaring she's stronger than ever. Smiling, she vows to protect Anna this time. Anna smiles, vowing she'd never abandon her friends. They team up as more demons swarm the escaping villagers. Illyria strikes relentlessly, her body a total blur. Anna finds another wounded elf, relieved she's still alive. She offers the wounded elf a potion, promising they'll escape together. Illyria faces the last demons, unleashing the skills Yuki taught her. Anna leads rescued elves to a safe point, her sister waiting. She gives an injured girl the potion, telling everyone it'll be okay. Inspired by Anna's courage, the rescued elves help each other. Illyria's elegant, deadly dance shields fleeing villagers. She reports the monsters are cleared. Aina agrees. It's about time. Aina smiles, knowing Yuki is waiting for the mission to end. Illyria eagerly agrees, ready to rejoin him. Dragons clash overhead as the girls race to help. Next chapter, battle chaos erupts as girls rush forward. Illyria and Anna lock in for the final showdown. Back at the main fight, Yuki lunges at Kelkas, their high-speed duel raging. Kelkas forms a dark energy sphere in his hand, smirking. He fires two dark spheres, streaking at Yuki like missiles. Yuki watches the attack, focused and ready. Wheezing, he dodged the dark magic spheres with insane agility. Spheres explode behind him as Illyria and Aina arrive. Yuki shouts to his friends, relieved they're both safe. He tells his dragon Sway to finally rampage. The colossal water-eyed dragon, Sway, growls, obeying its master. Furious, Kalka vows to crush them and claims his subordinate's soul. The skeletal evil dragon crackles with supercharged dark lightning. Kelka's notes warn this massive power is barely contained. Illyria cheers, but Anna realizes it waited for an opening. Sway roars, his crystal form ready for battle. The evil dragon, serving the demon race, prepares for the clash. It pulses with dark power, ready for a massive fight. Sway unleashes a cataclysmic breath attack, the party awestruck. Energy swallows the dragon, silencing its final words. Attack hits, a massive explosion rocks the entire forest. Kelka stares in shock as the dragon is instantly crushed. Yuki warns, a large creature eats massive magic. He says it was over the second sway got serious. Enraged, Kelka draws his sword, vowing Yuki pays for this mockery. Yuki triggers level 3 barrier, igniting a runic circle. A hexagonal barrier snaps up, stopping the demon lord. Kelkus takes flight, ready to turn the village to dust. Dark energy swirls around him, preparing a devastating wide-scale attack. Yuki appears mid-air before him, shouting, "He won't allow it." He blocks Kelk's blade, stunning the demon lord, who asks how he's flying. Yuki says he just jumped, sending the demon into a rage. Standing before the demon is proof enough. He slashes the demon lord, asking, "Will you finally accept the truth?" Kelka roars, refusing to let a mere human wound him. Yuki preps a final attack to show the demon his power. He surges a raging torrent into his blade. He unleashes his ultimate, the devastating flare slash. Kelkus consumed, screaming in disbelief at human power. He howls as the magic torrent crushes him. Yuki victorious on scorched earth, attack fading. Ilaria and Anna rush in, cheering Yuki's victory over the demon. But Kelkus, broken, rises from the ravaged ground. Yuki spins around, shocked. The demon lord is still moving. He warns the girls stay back. Kelkus isn't down. Ilaria stops dead, gasping in surprise. Anna stares in disbelief at the demon's insane grit. Kelkus ambushes Yuki, locking him in a tight embrace. Clinging to Yuki, Kelkus snarls that it's not over. Ilaria and Aina watch horrified from afar, screaming Yuki's name. Trapped in the demon-esque grip, Yuki demands his plan. Cass holds him in the ruins. "Wait, amidst the wreckage in the ruins. Let's try." The girls scream. Yuki's name, as Kelkus holds him in the... Kelkus snarls, demanding answers and vowing it's not over. He calls Yuki a stubborn pest for stopping the evil dragon's revival. He won't die alone. He'll drag them all down. Anna and her sister realize he's taking the whole village down with him. He mocks the sage, asking how he'll fight in this dark, magic-less void. Yuki grunts, caught in the demon lord's suicidal final gambit. Girls realize a group barrier is too weak to hold. Yuki hunts for an exit, wishing he could teleport them away. Another space sparks Yuki a sudden realization. He warns the shocked demon lord. His plan ends now. A glowing magic circle erupts at their feet. Kelkus cries out, surprised. The demon lord roars as a strange force drags him in. Confused, he screams as strange magic sucks him in. He can't process this magic, let alone how it works. He screams, baffled by the magic, powerless to counter. Yuki realizes the magic seals Kelkus's stored energy. Kelkus comically pops into Yuki's hex inventory. Ilaria and Aina gasp, frozen in shock. Yuki checks his inventory, a tiny, trapped, immobilized Kelkus. Is it over? The girls swarm, Yuki chanting his name. Ilaria hugs a blushing Yuki, shouting, "He did it." Aina asks what happened. Illyrian notes, "It's a new site." Yuki explains his storage magic, and Aina calls it broken. He never imagined using his storage to seal someone. With him sealed, the demon is completely powerless. Yuki unlocks a new skill, demonic energy level 1. Did sealing the demon grant him power? Sway cheers its master. The party hails Sway as their amazing, reliable MVP. Danger clears, they regroup, assess heavy damage. The party heads for the underground shelter entrance. Inside, Aina's sister Shul spots her, calls her name. Elves swarm her, cheering that Anasama is back. Aina tells her people they endured, relieved everyone is safe. The villagers' formal greeting shocks Yuki and Illyria. Anna and Shul reveal their family are hereditary village rulers. Anna leaves the practical work to her sister, Shul. Aina grabs Yuki's hands, getting his attention. She thanks him for the village, making Yuki blush. She insists on a reward, offering him anything. Yuki's stunned by her sudden pushy reward offer. He dismisses the offer, claiming he needs no reward. Anim's power grants Yuki anything he wants. Her face shifts as a brilliant idea hits. She pitches a wild idea, leaving Yuki totally confused. She leans close, blushing, and calls his name. She proposes marriage, stunning Yuki and Illyria. Illyria and Shula stormed in, scolding Anna for her solo decision. Anna insists they marry and rule as one. She joins Yuki, confident they'd rule the village. Yuki panics, shouting he'll never settle down or rule. Aina dejectedly slumps at his quick refusal. She insists a simple thank you isn't enough. Yuki pauses, thinking about what he could ask for. He finally relents, asking just one thing. He says her skills can improve the world. He asks her to keep traveling as his trusted partner. Aina blushes, joining Yuki on their journey. She confesses to Yuki she always intended to follow him. Facing the ruins, she knows rebuilding requires help from other nations. She tells her sister Shul she's leaving the difficult tasks to her. Yuki blushes, telling him he must take care of her now. Yuki asks pouting Illyria if she minds Aina joining them. Illyria shouts she's coming too. Yuki realizes he must eventually handle Illyria's return home. Anna reassures Illyria that the Empire will back them. Illyria warns Anna about their awkward incident. Flashback reveals the accidental kiss, and Illyria screams it was her first. Illyria snaps at Aina for being so casual about a girl's feelings. Anna blushes, admitting it was her first time too. The revelation leaves Illyria stunned and speechless. They argue loudly. Yuki wonders why they re-fighting. Yuki sighs, dismissing the intense fight as a petty squabble. The girls cornered him, screaming that this was serious. Ina grins at Illyria, eyes gleaming with competitive challenge. Illyria agrees it's a battle for Yuki's heart. She'll complain to fellow elves about her stubborn sister. Yuki sighs as things get loud again, just like always. Clinging to him, the girls agree the demon threat is over. Yuki gazes from the mountains, realizing his otherworldly life isn't over. 1 month later, King Regulus faces his new role's challenges. He welcomes Yuki and companions to Oswald Castle's throne room. The king reveals a wireless Empire envoy just arrived. Yuki and Illyria stunned by an official inquiry about her. Illyria panics, terrified her father will drag her home and expose their secret. Yuki calms her, insisting her return isn't official yet. Regulus asks Yuki to explain his troubled state. The king calms them, declaring this envoy special and trusting Yuki. Envoy approaches. Yuki and Illyria wonder who was sent. Illyria gasps as her sister, Princess Misha, suddenly appears. Misha winks. She's Illyria's older sister. She noogies her sister, scolding her for running away. Misha asks Yuki if he's the legendary sage. She shoots him a knowing, mischievous look, her curiosity piquing. Misha approaches, saying she heard about his care for Illyria. Yuki feels her aura as crushing pressure, realizing she's a powerhouse. Illyria nervously asks if Misha's taking her to the Empire. Misha winks, insisting Yuki join as Illyria's benefactor. Yuki seizes the chance to visit the Empire. Illyria agrees to go if Yuki wants. Regulus sends Yuki as the kingdom's envoy. Yuki's stunned by the news, questioning his new role. He fears a mere adventurer is unfit for the title. King Regulus is searching for a way to reward Yuki. He declares Yuki a noble in his territory. Ministers debate, granting him territory 20 times the norm. Yuki panics, fearing middle management. He refuses, but Regulus insists the national hero gets rewarded. Advisor proposes new diplomatic title, No Land. King Regulus strokes his chin, weighing the clever plan. Advisor says the title grants privileges, helping the kingdom. Yuki accepts the title, and the king settles the matter. Regulus names a stunned Yuki Grand Duke. Anna and Illyria congratulate the new Grand Duke, making him blush. Accordia tells them they need new lodging. Illyria is hyped for a bigger room. Anna slyly warns Illyria not to celebrate yet. She warns Illyria might return to the Empire soon. Illyria vows to return, but Yuki refuses to share a room. Misha, surprised, asks if they stayed in the same room. She grills Illyria, who stammers she was just saving money. Misha leans in with a smirk, leaving Illyria totally flustered. Misha teases her sister, who panics and denies sharing a bed. Later, Yuki relaxes in the castle's grand bath. He ponders his new duties, accepted to help King Regulus. Sway Splash floats carefree in the warm water. Yuki complains the human world is a total drag. He craves a moment of freedom, even in the bath. Bare feet hit the cool stone bathhouse floor. Misha appears naked, greeting the sage cheerfully. Yuki yelps, face flushing red, as she suddenly appears. Misha approaches him, asking to join him in the water. She says bathing together is normal in her country. Misha asks if Illyria joined him, but he snaps a denial. Peeking from a pillar, Misha teases him for the truth. She nears, asks him to call her Misha, not titles. She suggests he call her Big Sister, flustering him even more. Misha playfully grabs him until he finally calls her Misha. She got her way, so she finally lets him state his business. Misha reveals her personal interest in the sage. She reveals the Empire's mysterious, unreadable grimoire. She winks. Yuki's the key to its secrets. Her scholars, she says, long to meet him. Yuki mentions using the elven grimoire, shocking Misha. Misha realizes he can read their ancient book. She grabs his hands, begging him to join her in the Empire. Misha mocks his shock at her nudity, asking if it's forbidden. She teases his fluster, only draws her closer. Misha leans in. Then another pair of feet arrives at the bath. Illyria and Anna burst in, demanding answers from Misha. Misha says, "Oh, as Yuki knew this was coming." The girls bicker as a weary Sway sinks into the bath. On Oswald's highway, a grand carriage sets off. Anna feels weird grounded, but Yuki loves the change. Illyria picks the carriage for Aina, scared of heights. Misha asks about flying, but Yuki says they ride Sway. Chibi flashback, they soar on Sway's magnificent dragon. Yuki questions why their capital journey was peaceful. Illyria warns that nearby monsters are getting more active. Aina claims they'll be fine, even if monsters attack. Anis snuggles Yuki, leaving all the fighting to him. Jealous Illyria leaps out, demanding Anna switch seats. A patrolling royal guard hears suspicious rustling in the bushes. A massive goblin horde ambushes the convoy. Yuki sighs, while Aina eagerly gears up for battle. Royal guards fight, but numbers overwhelm them. A goblin lunges from behind for the kill. Illyria bursts from the carriage, sword flashing, saves the guard. She tells the guard to regroup. Then she and Aina join. Misha's stunned by Illyria's skill, but Illyria credits Yuki. Aina notches an arrow, ready to unleash on the horde. Her arrows drop 3 goblins with flawless aim. Yuki proudly watches his friends crush it. He's worried the enemy army is way bigger than expected. Anna's elven eyes pinpoint another shot. Her arrows hit the massive slime, but he's unfazed. 2 goblins burst from the trees, hauling pulsating white sacks. Goblins ambush Illyria, charging her head-on. She gasps, blindsided by their new tactic. Illyria screams a warning to Anna. The goblin hurls slime, drenching Illyria in sticky filth. Aina rushes over, asking what that disgusting gunk is. Enraged, Anna draws her bow for Illyria. Another goblin lunges while she's distracted. Aina screams as sticky slime engulfs her too. Girls complain, the gross goo want to budge. Yuki yells from the carriage, checking if they're okay. Aina screams, her body is melting. Illyria's horrified as the slime dissolves their clothes. Yuki's stunned Misha asks if he knows the strange attack. Blushing hard, he reveals it's a clothes-melting slime. This weapon humiliates enemies to crush their spirit. He tells Misha he'd only read about monsters back home. Yuki moves to intervene, but Misha says, "Wait." Misha winks confidently, saying she's got this. She raises her staff, unleashing a purifying blast. The girls stare as the foul slime dissolves. Yuki's shocked. She's a mage, but she just winks. Misha excels at healing and support magic. Goblin's gone. Yuki confronts the hulking slime lord. He draws his blade, declaring himself the opponent. He rushes, blade poised for the massive creature. Sword slices deep, but the gooey monster instantly reforms. Useless attacks, he retreats. Misha steps in. She chants, summoning the wind spirits. She blasts a swirling, hot, drying wind vortex at the monster. The monster hardens, and Misha orders Yuki's attack. Yuki lunges. Sword shatters the brutal monster. The mighty slime lord instantly crumbles to dust. He stands ready, sword firm, creature falls. He checks Illyria and Anna, relieved the attack worked. They howl in shame, unable to face the Empire like this. Misha calmly tells them to stay still. She casts Light of Restoration, fixing their clothes. Outfits magically mend as they cheer in relief. Yuki loves the convenient magic. Misha sees its limits. The magic uses shape memory to restore clothes. Yuki grasps magic's power, determined to master it. Sway asks what its master thinks, but Yuki shrugs it off. The convoy pushes through the massive mountains. Yuki's glad the chaos didn't slow them down. Days later, they reach the Wireless Empire's capital. Yuki gets squished between the two bickering girls. Misha urges them to look at the city through the window. Yuki's stunned by the capital's bustling, thriving streets. Misha sees Empire develops. Oswald's militant. Yuki nervously wonders if the Emperor is stern. Misha reveals her dad almost started war before Yuki stopped him. The girls vow to protect a nervous Yuki. Misha announces they reapproaching the Imperial Palace. They face the massive audience chamber doors. Agar announces Princess Misha and Princess Auliria. The Emperor's stern face cracks, screaming his daughter's name. Auliria looks up, nervously calling him father. He pulls her into a tearful hug, overjoyed she survived. He scolds his daughter for leaving without a word. The Empress beams, her daughter returned unharmed. The Emperor confirms King Selbel threatened them too. Misha presents Yuki as their savior from crisis. Emperor addresses him. Yuki stammers a humble greeting. The Emperor's already heard the rumors about the sage. Yuki humbly admits his heroics are true. Misha reveals Yuki and Auliria shared a room. The Emperor's jaw drops in shock at the news. He demands confirmation, while a blushing Illyria stammers. The Emperor's eyes glow, his terrifying glare on Yuki. He grabs Yuki, roaring it's proof they're fated. Anna, Illyria, and Misha stare in happy surprise. Confused, Yuki asked what the Emperor meant. He says Illyria is finally old enough for a partner. He asks Yuki to marry Illyria. Yuki's stunned, his mind failing to process the proposal. Illyria delights, but Anna protests the sudden turn. The Emperor smirks, suggesting Yuki marry Misha too. He thought they got along well. Illyria blushes, admitting it depends on Yuki's feelings. The Emperor pressures Yuki to accept the marriage. Emperor notes relationships take time here. He remembers meeting his wife at Yuki's age and marrying her fast. Yuki disagrees, no need to rush marriage. The Emperor turns serious, demanding Yuki explain himself. Yuki argues marriage isn't just ceremony, they can be together anyway. Emperor praises Yuki's reasoning. Empress calls it an overreaction. The Empress agrees with Yuki, reminding them they were young. The Emperor concedes his wife has a point. He turns to Illyria, asking her opinion. Illyria hugs Yuki tight, happy as long as they're together. The Emperor laughs, declaring the couple's happiness comes first. He hands his daughter's safety to a shaking Yuki. Under the crescent moon, a tired sigh breaks the silence. Yuki collapses onto his bed, drained by the stressful conversation. Illyria reassures him her father wasn't angry, just stunned. She says her father liked his thinking. Yuki and Illyria are deeply relieved by the outcome. Relaxing, Illyria gently takes Yuki's hand. She's thrilled her parents approve, but Yuki's still flustered. Illyria playfully climbs onto Yuki, asking him to be sweet. The door bursts open. Angry Anna demands why she was separated. Yuki and Illyria freeze, caught in a compromising position. Aina hops in bed, accusing Yuki of intimacy without her. The huge room creeps her out, so she insists they all sleep together. Anna reminds Yuki she won't give up. Annoying Illyria, Sway floats in, announcing it's sleeping with everyone too. Anna and Illyria cuddle Yuki, one on each side. Yuki sighs, trapped between the two sleeping girls. New bed, same life. Nothing's changed. The Imperial Palace looms under the stars. The bed is bigger, but Yuki still can't sleep any better. As he sleeps, Aina whispers, "This isn't so bad." She leans in, asking if her breasts are better. Aina playfully smothers Yuki's face, catching him off guard. He's pinned, unable to escape their sleepy embrace. Illyria whispers Yuki's name in her sleep, begging to be held. She yanks him close, silencing another muffled protest. Yuki despairs, wide awake and at their mercy. A dark presence looms in the corner. Yuki's eyes snap open, sensing the evil aura looming over them. Kelka's ghost appears, mockingly asking if Yuki enjoyed himself. Yuki recognizes the demon lord, shocked he can speak again. Kelkas didn't escape, he just connected to Yuki's consciousness. Yuki seizes the opening to demand answers from the demon. He demands the reason for resurrecting the evil dragon. Kelka scoffs, but Yuki pushes, certain the dragon's plan is long-term. Yuki smiles coldly, asks Kalkas if he's okay with being erased. Demon reels from the threat of utter annihilation. Yuki flashes the system prompt, proving he can delete Kalkas instantly. Enraged Kelka insults Yuki. Yuki just says, "Talk." The demon reveals the dragon was sent to annihilate the capital. He admits Yuki's arrival ruined his plan. Yuki realizes destruction isn't the goal, it's world conquest. Kalkas smirks sinisterly, hinting at a deeper purpose. He claims he's only following the Demon King's will. Stunned, Yuki demands the Demon King's identity and location. Kelka admits he doesn't know the Demon King's location either. A being this powerful never speaks to his servants. He suspects Yuki never saw the Demon King. Kelkas reveals high-ranked demons are hiding among humans. The truth leaves Yuki speechless. The demon leans in, whispering another demon faction hides in this country. He explains demons resonate and amplify each other's power. Resonance powers him up, letting him speak to Yuki. Kalkas fades, swearing they'll fight again. His form shatters, silencing Yuki's questions. A psychic blast slams Yuki. This demon's a sore loser. Clutching his chest, he gasps from the mental assault. He gasps awake, wondering if it was all just a dream. He fears if real, attacks like this could happen again. His frustrated roar of "That's enough" shakes the castle. Yuki bolts up, gasping, as a shout sends his friends flying. The girls rush to his side as he sways dizzily. He yells they're too close to breathe. Forcing an apology, Yuki wipes his sweat, muttering in frustration. Girls see he's pale, offer medicine. He shrugs off their concern, blaming a weird dream. Yuki checks for demons, but Sway senses nothing. He accepts, but girls still eye him worriedly. Yuki eyes the capital, wondering if demons lurk inside. Next morning, a cheerful Misha asks how Yuki slept. He blames the new bed for his weird dream, making Misha laugh. Misha says Illyria took Anna shopping in the city. Yuki asks where she's taking him. She replies, Grimoire Storage. This is the Imperial Magic Tech Institute's main facility. Misha says entry is only for a select few. Yuki is amazed by the vast library's countless books. Misha presents Sage Matsuzaki Yuki to Institute scholars. A robed scholar welcomes him to the Grand Magic Library. He leads them to a special room, housing the Empire's oldest grimoire. They read in a secure chamber, packed with magic and treasure. The scholar reveals an ancient book bearing a winged sigil. Yuki grabs the grimoire, opens it to read. The pages are packed with complex, unreadable runes. System warns his magic skill is too low to use. Misha asks what he found, but his proficiency is too low. Scholars are shocked he uses non-elemental magic, flair. They realize he learned it from the elven grimoire he found. Misha has flair, so why won't this book's magic work? Yuki thinks flair is special. He must master other magic first. Misha admits they're out of high-grade magic books for Yuki. A Rhodes scholar timidly interrupts with a solution. He reveals ancient magic ruins within the Empire. The scholar thinks Yuki's sage powers will find something new there. Misha agrees, hoping Yuki's presence sparks a new discovery. He warns them skeletons now infest the dangerous ruins. Yuki's confident they'll handle it. Misha demands to join. Stunned scholars protest, shouting it's too dangerous for the princess. Misha insists her magic is vital for any surprises. She winks, just as curious to see the ruins. Yuki agrees to the expedition. Leaving tomorrow, the party lands at the ruins entrance on Sway's back. Misha enjoys the flight, while Illyrian admires her sister's bravery. Yuki asks if Ina's okay, seeing her terrified of heights. Misha explains the Empire only guards the entrance, the rest unexplored. The ruins, a mage facility, now fuel monsters with its magic. Illyria knows the abandoned site is now a natural abyss. Misha raises her staff, summoning light spirits to purge the darkness. Her guiding light and a magic circle illuminate the path. Illyria's spooked by the glowing hall, but Yuki warns her to watch her step. She asks if Yuki is comfy here. He finds it familiar. A skeletal foot bursts through the stone wall. 3 armed skeletons emerge, level 30 undead. Illyria shrieks, but Yuki calmly reminds her they're just bones. He swings his sword, sweeping the hill, putting skeletons to sleep. He shatters the skeletons, and Illyrian's stunned, he isn't afraid. Scattered bone piles twitch and rattle on the floor. Anna warns the group something's wrong with the monsters. The skeletons reform instantly, rising to strike again. Misha steps up, declaring she'll take on the regenerating undead. She vaporizes them with holy magic, and Yuki says they refine now. Misha's power stuns Anna, leaving Illyria in total awe. Inna reveals Misha won by exploiting the monster's weakness. She asks if they can temporarily enchant their weapons with elements. Illyria and Misha don't know enchant, yet love the idea. The girls eagerly ask Yuki to alchemize items. They hit the ruins' deepest chamber, a trashed research lab. Misha warns not all relics are valuable, much is just junk. Yuki spots a book of glowing runes on a pedestal. Misha reads an inscription. Yuki surprisingly finishes. He reads the riddle placed 2 items on an unseen balance. Misha questions what item activates the pedestal to move forward. Thinking it's a pressure plate, Illyria slams the book. A sickening squelch echoes as something erupts from the pedestal. Fleshy tentacles burst out, snatching a terrified Illyria. Trap expands, pinning Misha and Anna with the simulated monster. Ina's stuck to the floor and can't move. Slimy tentacles writhe and slither around Illyria's legs. She yelps in terror as strange sensations invade. She tells Yuki something's moving, questioning its purpose. Misha asks Illyria to hold out until they disarm the trap. Illyria frets, her imagination runs wild. Misha sighs, forced to use her magic to help. She casts Sensation Shutdown, numbing her target's physical feelings. Illyria confirms the unpleasant sensations ceased for now. She dreads imagining what the tentacles do. Yuki tells the girls to hold on while he cracks the puzzle. He tells Anna to scour the room for the riddle's answer. Anna eyes the cluttered room, lost on where to search. Ilaria whimpers. An unsettling feeling cuts through the numbing spell. System alert, her senses go dark, with 70 minutes left on the spell. While the others scramble for answers, Misha stays pinned to the floor. An alert warns her numbing spell has 50 minutes left. The trap inflicts sleep, confusion, poison, and paralysis. Its fluid melts armor, crushing defense and morale. The fluid keeps melting her, while another effect drains her HP. Her MP drains fast, while the noise tortures her. Yuki tells squirming Misha to wait, warning of consequences. He asks Misha how to break the trap she doesn't know. Paralyzed by fear and a magic seal, Ilaria is helpless. Yuki questions the trap's purpose, seeing Azaina also restrained. He remembers similar man eating plants from his old world. He fears its goal is parasitic reproduction, not eating. Ilaria begs him to stop as her spell timer ticks away. Yuki tackles the riddle. To grasp the unseen balance, he spots ornate scales, the literal balance mentioned. Misha agrees, confirming the scales are the answer. Ancient scales wait on the desk to solve the puzzle. Ilaria screams, her spell timer dropping to 10 minutes. Aina breaks free and rushes to save the trapped Ilaria. The pedestal groans, retracts, and tentacles wither. Yuki and Misha watch, stunned, as the trap shuts down. Misha S. relieved the path is clear. Her arduous ordeal paid off. Ilaria hates her torn clothes, so Misha starts a long repair spell. Yuki asks if Ilaria is okay. She thumbs up, fine. A system alert signals the sensation shutdown spell has ended. Others notice a change and ask what's wrong. Misha sheepishly admits she forgot a major side effect. The spell delays status effects. They all hit at once when it breaks. Ilaria collapses, her body convulsing from a dozen deadly ailments. Notification displays her total HP/MP drain from the ordeal. It's no panics, but Misha knows Ilaria can take it. Yuki pulls out a potion, instantly healing. He gives healing elixir to incapacitated Ilaria. The potion instantly heals her. Misha pats her head apologetically. Anna's relieved Illyria's safe, admitting she couldn't have lasted that long. Blushing, Illyria swears she's done with slimy things forever. The party delves deeper into the mysterious dungeon. Yuki senses the path goes deeper, hiding something vital. The party stands united, ready for the trials ahead. Deep in the ruins, Yuki spots a giant scorpion as its stats pop up. Here they come, he yells, face hardening as more creatures swarm. An arrow blurs across the corridor, striking its mark. Anna dives in, telling the others she's got this. Refusing to be outdone, Ilaria leaps into the fight, vowing not to lose. A scorpion lunges as Ilaria screams Yuki's name. Yuki warns, don't get too far ahead, then calls Misha for backup. Misha squeaks, her face frozen in horror. She screams, panicked by scorpions. Yuki asks what's wrong, while Illyria reveals her sister's phobia. He begs her to endure, but she insists it's impossible. Bad timing, Yuki mutters as the horde closes in. Anna asks if he can blast them all with magic. He warns a powerful spell could cause a cave in. They'll be cornered soon, so Anna insists it's their only move. Yuki's only option, retreat to a defensible spot. He tells them to prioritize escape over annihilation. Back to back, Yuki and Illyria carve through the monster swarm. Anna covers from the rear. Arrows keep the horde at bay. Misha clings to Illyria as scorpions swarm. Drive them back, she screams, eyes shut in terror. Anna spots a large chamber ahead, perfect for their stand. Yuki spots the heavy stone door and bolts. He strained against the massive door, forcing it shut. The heavy door slams shut, trapping the horde outside. Misha thinks they re-free, but Anna isn't convinced. They find a cathedral-like hall lined with ancient statues. The group marvels at the grand, solemn, hidden chamber. Anna notices this room feels nothing like the ruins. Yuki senses trouble, the entrance deliberately blocked. He senses a trap lurking in this sacred place. He spots 5 or 8 books on a central dais. What are these? He carefully nears ancient tomes. Misha recognizes ancient grimoires, like the Empire Seal. Yuki spots 5 books with different symbols, all matching the one he couldn't read. He picks one up, wondering if his improved skill helps him understand it. The same unreadable runes fill every page. He focuses, and glowing runes leap from the page, swirling around him. Success confirmed. Magic floods his mind from 5 books. Ilaria cheers for the amazing Yuki, while Misha stares in shock. He deciphered 5 ancient grimoires. She stammers, shocked. Yuki hands Misha a book and asks her to read it now. Misha frowns, studying the text intently. Sweat beads on her forehead, struggling with archaic language. It's useless. She hands it back. The script is too ancient to read. She knows reading this text would make her a top-tier scholar. Misha will get Yuki to teach her magic later. Mission complete. Yuki tells them to head back up. Misha fears the trapped scorpions still wait outside. Yuki smirks, ready to test his new magic. The massive stone door slams shut with a deafening boom. Yuki's entrance, Ilaria screams as the wave seals their escape. A spectral voice booms through the hall, calling out the grimoire holder. It demands the sage smark, or they re-trapped forever. The party looks around confused, wondering about the sage's mark. Chamber sees stone statues crack, rumble to life. Stone hand flexes. The ancient guardian descends its pedestal. The statue stomps forward, eyes blazing ominously. The statues are moving. Ilaria screams. Yuki gets it crushing. These guys proves he's the sage. 6 animated stone guardians completely surround the party. The stone golem readies its massive sword to strike. Yuki warns Ilaria, watch out, stones nimble. Ilaria tanks the golem's strike, shattering the stone floor. She strikes its shield. Anna rains arrows from behind. Arrows bounce harmlessly off the golem's magic armor. My arrows should shatter that stone, Anna snaps. Yuki realizes magic reinforcement makes these statues nearly unbreakable. He evades an advancing golem's spear. He leaps high, dodging a deadly sword slash. Needing a better strategy, he calls Misha for help. Misha, can your offensive magic do anything? He screams. She admits her attacks are weak, but her support magic shines. If you are just buying time, I can to help, she declares. Staff raised, she unleashes Iron Thorn Prison, a powerful bind. Thorny vines burst from the floor, snaring the stone guardians. This won't hold them long, Misha warns. Think fast. Trapped and cornered, Yuki needs a plan fast. The sage's full power faces its ultimate test. Ilaria asks Yuki for a plan. He confirms it's simple. Anna asks about his magic, so he reveals the catch. He admits learning magic too fast gave him too many options. He triggers his demon eye to narrow the field. He discovers the 6 golems each have unique elements. The 6 elements: fire, ice, wind, earth, light, and dark. He realizes the elements are the key to victory. They quickly deduce weaknesses. Water beats fire, wind beats earth, light beats dark. Yuki realizes opposing elements are the only way to win. His new arsenal holds perfect enchantment magic. He'll infuse their weapons with elemental power. He smirks confidently, revealing he just mastered a powerful new spell. He preps Sway, Little Sway, confidently agrees. Yuki unleashes level 3. Enchantment magic, a complex circle glows. Illyria's sword erupts in roaring flames, shocking her. Ina's bow lightens, imbued with wind power. Misha's staff surges as it gains a light attribute. Sway surges with power from water enchantment. Yuki pits them against golems, matching their new enchantments. Thorns snap. He yells, "Everyone, let's go!" Ilaria leaps at the ice golem. Flaming sword strikes. Sway puffs his chest, demanding to join the fight. Sway zips, blasting a powerful water jet at a skeleton warrior. Yuki keeps sway small. A dragon form would crush the ruins. Determined, Chibiyuki and Misha vow to end it fast. Magic and steel clash against the stone guardians in a chaotic blur. Yuki blurs between two massive golems, deflecting their spears. Illyria's eyes narrow, poised to strike. Illyria shreds the stone guardian with a spinning slash. High above, Anna shoots a wind-infused arrow, shattering a skeleton. Misha blasts the golem with lightning from a magic circle. Spear-wielding golem readies for battle. Sway hovers near. Sway blasts the stone guardian with another massive torrent, drenching it. Yuki stands between two sword golems, awaiting their move. A golem raises twin swords for a devastating slash. Yuki easily parries the blow, shattering the stone floor. Yuki focuses magic. A wind sigil ignites his blade, targeting the wind golem. Golem stumbles back, sword shattered. Yuki preps his attack. Yuki stomps, lunging into a devastating spinning slash. He shatters the golem to rock and debris. Standing on the ruins, Yuki tells the final golem it's alone. He lacks a dark magic grimoire, but has a dark magic sword. He thinks no enchantments needed, just channel a little magic. Berserk erupts with dark energy, now lethal against light. The final light, golem raises its massive sword to crush Yuki. Yuki locks in, ready to meet the final attack head-on. His dark blade clashes the golem's stone sword, halting the massive weapon. Yuki's small, empowered blade blocks the golem's massive sword. Dark energy surges through Yuki's blade for the final strike. Yelling, "Take this!" he unleashes pure, dark energy. Dark magic cracks and crumbles the golem's stone face. The last stone guardian shatters, collapsing into rubble. Illyria cheers the win. Yuki credits the team, and Anna asks if I was all of them. Massive stone door down the hall stays stubbornly shut. Illyria fears the door won't open, while Yuki doubts he passed the trial. The ancient guardian spirit appears. Power alone. One make a sage. Radiating dark energy, the guardian unleashes Yuki's final trial. The chapter title reveals the guardian looms, starting the ultimate test. The party stares in shock, dreading the final trial. Guardian raises hands, unleashes blinding white light on the group. Yuki and Illyria shield their eyes against the blinding glare. Yuki squints, trying to see through the brilliance filling the chamber. The guardian fades, wondering why he's suddenly so sleepy. Sway girls watch horrified, yelling Yuki's name as he collapses. Yuki's mind fades to black and white static. His world vanishes. His vision returns to a bookshelf and an air conditioner in a modern room. He spots a rocking horse and puzzle mats, realizing he's not in another world. An Illyria lookalike enters, asking if he's awake. He's stunned. Illyria asks why he's staring. Yuki just makes baby noises. He catches his reflection and realizes with horror he's a baby. He stares at his tiny hands, wondering what happened to his body. The Illyria lookalike lifts him, cooing about his hunger. She tells him to wait, unbuttoning her shirt to nurse him. He stares in shock, his mind completely frozen. She offers her breast. Time for milk, Yuki. He panics. She asks what's wrong, playfully pushing him to drink before the milk's gone. She smiles warmly, holding him close and insisting he drink. He gives in to nursing, realizing he can fight his baby instincts. Illyria's lookalike smiles, telling him to drink his milk. After feeding, he burps, and she asks if his tummy's full. He wonders if this is the sage's trial, or just a mini-game. He can use powers, a baby with an adult mind. He must escape. Lying on the mat, he stares at the curtains, realizing he's helpless. The Illyria lookalike shakes a rattle, tells Yuki-chan it's fun. As a baby, he finds the slow flow of time surprisingly pleasant. Illyria's care is so good, he's totally fine staying a baby. Sudden dread washes over Matt. On the puzzle piece, he squirms. Alaria asks what's wrong. He fears the worst. She moves to open his diaper, and he panics, begging her to wait. She gasps. He wet himself. He feels defeated, helpless. She happily swaps his diaper while he lies there powerless, desperate for home. An hour later, he is beside the sleeping Alaria lookalike, his chance clear. He hunts for an exit while she sleeps. He tries to crawl, but his weak baby body and heavy head fail him. He spots a cracked door, his only hope. He just has to reach it. The Alaria lookalike snaps awake, realizing she'd dozed off. She catches him, tells Yuki don't to move. You are captured. He attempts multiple escapes, but she shuts him down every time. She scolds him for leaving, demanding he take a nap. He desperately crawls again for the door, ignoring her calls. She chases him, screaming to wait. Trapped in a repeating cycle of failure, he collapses crying, fearing he'll return to the real Alaria. An hour later, he's so exhausted, he is collapsing. He steals his resolve, certain he'll win this time. He needs the right steps to escape and a tool to pull it off. He spots a plushie in the corner. It's his companion, Sway. An idea strikes. He can use this. He crawls, places the toy next to sleeping Alaria, trusting his friend. With a new sense of purpose, he crawls across the room again. He reaches the door, certain it's his way back home. Voice tells Yuki-chan to wait. Illyria so lookalike's face morphs into a demon, demanding where he's going. She's not Illyria. She's a demon trapping him as a baby forever. He must escape. Fear freezes him, his legs useless. The demon snatches him, yelling he's caught. She sneers. Punish the naughty boy. He's done for. He's so terrified, he's about to pee himself again. The demon shrieks in agony as spray blinds her. He loses control, spraying the demon right in the face. With the demon blinded and cursing his petty trick, he must escape now. He crawls frantically as the demon screams for him to run. He's out of time. Yuki dreams she's a baby, frantically crawling to an open door. He thinks he's free, but a flash of light yanks him up. His world vanishes in a blinding white flash. Groaning softly, Yuki's eyes flutter open as he finally wakes. He awakens in Illyria's lap, his worried friends relieved. Alaria says he passed out, realizing it was all a dream. He blushes, confessing he dreamed of being Illyria's baby, shocking Ina. Ina demands whose baby he is, but Yuki has no idea. Alaria leans in, teasing how much he craves her. Flustered, Yuki admits the weirdness wasn't so bad. He finishes the dream while Ina pouts about being left out. He thanks Sway, and a little dragon puffs its chest proudly. The spectral guardian materializes before them again. The guardian declares Yuki passed, granting him the sage's wisdom. A rumbling sound. The stone door down the hall opens. Misha's relieved the barrier's gone, and Yuki agrees it's time to leave. Guardian's purpose fulfilled, sage's wisdom passed. His form fades, urging them to flee the ruins, then bids farewell. Misha and Anna are baffled by his sudden, dark warning to hurry. The stone walls crack and tremble violently. The party looks up in alarm as the ancient ruins collapse. The chamber quakes as the party braces for impact. Misha shouts, the room's collapsing. They must escape. The massive sealed door bursts open with a crash. Misha screams in terror as the giant scorpion horde swarms the room. Anna asks Yuki for a plan, and he weighs using magic to stop the threat. He realizes a shockwave will only trigger a massive cave-in. Yuki blasts an ice wave from a blue circle. The entire scorpion swarm flash freezes into a solid block. Misha screams as more scorpions flood in from the corridors. Clinging to flustered Yuki, she begs him to escape now. Yuki orders a retreat, using his magic to hold back the pursuers. Sprinting down the crumbling hull, he reinforces walls with earth magic. Misha yells, the exit is ahead, as they sprint through the dark tunnel. The party finally bursts from the ruins into bright sunlight. The ancient structure implodes behind them in a massive dust cloud. Safe outside, Yuki realizes they barely made it out. Misha mourns the lost discovery. Yuki is just glad they survived. Ilaria suspects the Stone Guardians waited centuries just for Yuki. Yuki dreads the long, terrifying vigil. He heads back to the Imperial capital for now. Next day, the party meets at the Imperial Magic Research Institute. Yuki dives into the grimoires to finally master their magic. He cracks open an ancient book, revealing complex, glowing runes. He delights as knowledge pours in, mastering dark magic. He's finally mastered all 6 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, light, and dark. Misha asks how he read it, guessing it's a dark magic book. Yuki questions her, is high proficiency enough? Misha explains light-dark magic differs from others. She explains it is high-tier magic, so he read other books first. A robed scholar approaches Yuki with an urgent request. He offers Yuki an honorary professorship at the institute, stunning the young sage. Misha loves the idea, but Yuki doubts the sudden promotion. Misha quips he just destroyed a valuable imperial ruin. Yuki sighs, knowing this new title sparks trouble with King Regulus. He grudgingly agrees, vowing full support. Misha links arms with him, pledging support as a fellow researcher. She invites him to study as Anna and Illyria tease her bold move. Cut to the thriving castle town of the wireless empire. The waitress serves a massive parfait, limited to 10 a day. Sway and the party gape at the massive dessert. They debate parfait and mint size, but Misha insists it's renowned. Illyria scoops a spoonful of ice cream to feed Yuki. Smiling, she holds the spoon to his lips. Say ah. Misha jumps in, claiming she's always wanted to try this. Misha force feeds the overwhelmed Yuki a bite of ice cream. Illyria smiles, asking him to taste it. He admits it's delicious. Now understanding why girls love sweets, Misha urges him to eat more, while a jealous Anna pouts. Anna complains Illyria always rushes Yuki too fast. She grabs a utensil, insisting on feeding the pampered Yuki herself. Yuki fears getting fat, but girls assure him they wouldn't mind. Determined Anna and smiling Misha tag-team him, feeding him from both sides. Misha chuckles, watching the two constantly compete. She offers Sway a bite. He takes it, calling it delicious. Yuki questions if royalty should wander streets unescorted. Aina smiles, tells him not to worry. Illyria told her father Yuki and Aina are her official guards. She remembers her dad's motto, living a normal life is a lesson. She winks, admitting it's an excuse to play. Unlike in Oswald, a man bursts in, yelling for everyone to look outside. A man points to the sky, asking his friend, "What's up there?" Inside, Yuki and Illyria wonder what the commotion is about. The party exits the cafe, heading down the steps into the crowd. Townspeople gather, staring at 3 fiery objects in the sky. The party looks up, questioning the mysterious fireballs. Yuki recognizes the event, wonders meteors. Confused by the term, Misha and Illyria ask Yuki if he knows what they are. He's shocked they don't know, explaining meteors are space rocks. He struggles to explain, calling them fallen stars. The girls are stunned to realize falling stars are a massive deal. Misha and Yuki see objects nearing remote Rogic's territory. Illyria prays they land far from anyone, sensing a dark omen. Yuki reassures her hitting the capital would be a disaster. Misha stays silent, her face clouded with concern. Yuki asks what's wrong. It reminds her of an ancient magic legend. She remembers a forbidden demon spell that rains fire from the sky. The technique was lost, but she fears it still exists. Yukim fears the return of forbidden ancient magic. This strange event means they must investigate the aftermath. Yuki's group walks, unaware they're being watched from the high battlements. Rogue tells skeletal warrior sage saw meteors. 3 fireballs rocket across the sky toward the land of projects. Katash asks his robed ally if the hit was precise. His ally offers to crush the capital, unleashing a terrifying new magic. The sinister figure exploits Katash's misfortune, taunting him with his humiliating Oswald exile. Katash hardens, his bitterness demanding he settle his grudge. His fist clenches tight, vowing the sage will soon pay. Seething with rage, Katash vows to send the sage to hell